Alright, here we go. Hey, Silver. I could probably just bring BL to this.
화점에 두지.
출전.
잠시 이것만 상.
피가 범람할 시간.
대어내겠습니다. 꽃을 피워볼까요?
Oh god, there's gonna be so much reading. No!
하늘 가득 흩날릴 때.
Damn, they got the semicolon?
빛깔 잃고 향기 멎은들.
Hey, coffee.
그 누가 슬퍼하나.
The pedal background's nice.
꽃 손에 들고 뜰을 나섰건만. 떨어진 꽃잎 밟을까.
I gotta fucking turn off my Steam notifications.
그러니까 결국 이 풍진 세상 눈을 감지 않는다면.
Have both of you already played through Canto 8? Or well, part 1. Holy shit, she's old. Little Bayou, you must have walked and toiled tirelessly on your journey home. I wouldn't say I suffered much, grandmother. My days were always filled with new and interesting things to see. Dawn day stream, that's true. I laid in bed at 6 p.m. thinking it was gonna be a nap. I woke up at 5 a.m. the next day. I slept for 11 fucking hours, and I took a nap earlier in the day as well. What are they talking about over there? They're sitting so far apart I can hardly hear them. I mean, is this even a dining table? I can't even see who's sitting at the other end from here. Is there anything bothering you, dear guests? If this humble servant can help with any... Oh, there's something bothering me, alright. We're in the middle of a meal. Can you please stop? No! Nope, not at all. Nothing's bothering us at all. Everything's good. Now, Bayou, my boy. When will you introduce me to your new friends? Oh boy, I never know how to act in front of others' parents. Where should I look? Is this an appropriate size for a polite smile? I hope I don't come off too smarmy. Aha, it's nothing to fuss over. Think of this as your own place and enjoy your time here. Woohoo! Thank ya! But whew, this place is so huge that I can hardly relax. Worried I might get lost going out for a cup of water. My sleep debt was paid? I'm bankrupt? That's fucked up. I would never be bankrupt. We have stray people shelters. Stray peep. What? What the fuck? We have stray people shelters located all around the house for that. Our servants visit them once a month to collect anyone who's unfortunately gotten lost, if they're still alive, that is. What the fuck? Honk Lu. Me. Haha, Hong Lu. That has to be the funniest joke that you've ever told. Ha 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 ha. Haha, I wasn't joking, but I'm glad you enjoyed it anyway. I must ask, Hong Lu, for I spy no other sibling of yours here. This is quite odd, for I had thought this to be a welcoming party for your return. Hey, it's my welcoming party too. Besides, what makes you think we'd ever want to see their stupid faces? Just to get mad? It's been like this 10 whole years since we even shared a meal together. Oh, and don't even think about trying to chat me up. Did you already forget what I said earlier? I did, actually. I don't remember what she said earlier. There's nothing between us anymore. We're enemies. Did we initiate the conversation, though? Oh, I am simply so glad that my son, Bayou, has returned as a man who can now more than carry his own weight, and unharmed too. So dear Bayou, I don't mean to rush, but when are you planning to depart again?
아직 정해진 건 없어.
Nothing has been decided yet, Mother. I see. I am simply concerned that were your stay here to be prolonged, perhaps you might fade before your duties are completed. Do you not also agree, Venerable Jiamu? Indeed, dear Bayou, our peerless treasure, tarry not overlong in this mundane world. Leave when the time is right and fulfill your worth.
그럴게요.
Okay, grandmother, mother. Throughout the entire familial discussion, Honk Lu's expression remained the same, in that tranquil, perpetual smile. The amount of names in this canto confuses you so much. Oh, I'm already cooked. Despite his return after years of wandering, being met with the family's obvious push to make him leave as soon as possible, he stands unaffected, as though he were expecting this gaudy yet hollow welcome. Jue Pan, if that's even his name, and like, does Jia Ji Chun count? The others?
이제 곧 가마가 오겠군요.
The palanquin will be here soon.
가마.
Palanquin? Whoa, so cool! That sure sounds like a fancy ride. Isn't that just super, Greg? Oh yeah, Sod, are we getting a palanquin or whatever it's called to give us a ride all the way to the mansion? The usual comedy pair's desperate efforts to lighten the mood are particularly appreciated today, as tragically ineffective as they seem to be.
네.
Yes, the LCB and Jia Zichun will be heading to the
일원이 거주하는 대관원으로 가시게
Dag
되는데요.
Dagwon Yons, where one of the most prominent families of H Corp reside. I could have just said Grandview Garden. If they've sent a whole palanquin to pick us up, does Honk Lu's family already know that he'll be participating in the family hierarch war? No, it is unlikely that they are aware. After all, it can be assumed that the most likely reason that the company waited until the last minute to relay us this order was to minimize the chance of information leakage.
그저
Therefore, it would be correct to presume that the palanquin is here merely as a gesture of welcome for Honk Lu and Jia Zichun's return.
그런 만큼 가마가
Which means that only the invited Honk Lu, Jia Zichun, and their factions can ride the palanquin to the...
따르는 세력들.
Oh, fuck. Daguan Yon. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Unfortunately, this means the LCCB... Wait, how many LCC... No, I said 2. Virgilius and Karen won't be able to join you on this journey.
아쉽네요. 같이 갔으면
That's too bad. It would have been nice if we could all go there together.
항상 이런 식.
Just as petty as I expected from the seniors of our family. Would it kill them to house a handful of more people in that humongous park of a house? It's not like they'd notice the difference.
어머나.
Oh my, how touching. Looks like Miss Jia Zichun thinks she'll miss us too.
방금 전에 시원한
What a thing to say to my face after that shameless backstabbing. Ah. I mean, do any of you even comprehend what it means to participate in the family hierarch war?
우리가 가족
Do you even understand why we call it a war when the official name for it is an evaluation?
거야. 너희는 이제
You're risking your lives by getting involved in this. Once you get in there, you'll be stalked at every turn by people looking to kill you,
당연히
including me.
객잔의 이름.
Remember how Wei saved your life back at that fake Kejan? Kejan? Fuck. Now imagine the same scenario, except this time it could be Wei who's there to kill you.
미리
I must say ahead of time that this is a truly regrettable turn of events. I did not wish to have to fight any of you, but... Wei looked at us with an unfamiliar and cold, intense glare. Well, we feel very much the same way, so it looks like we're on the same page there, ha.
대로 말해서
This means that I'm also fair game. You could stab me in the back again, literally this time. No, never! I wouldn't even dream of doing something like... Jia Zichun ignored Sinclair's anxious pleas and looked straight toward Hong Lu. This could be the last chance to change your mind, brother.
나는
I didn't invite you to join my faction with a light heart.
꿈이며 가족이
Besides, it's the family hierarch war. This isn't something you can just flippantly decide that you want to participate.
네가 그렇게 살아왔.
I know the life you've lived,
나
Zichun.
역시도 어려서.
I also grew up hearing those countless tales about the family hierarch war just as you did.
그러니 우리가 느끼고 있는 무게감은
So the weight we're feeling must be the same.
그래.
Right, so this is where our tenuous alliance really ends.
뭐 상관없어.
Well, not like I care. It did drag on a little too long for a temporary alliance forged out of convenience.
원래대로.
We're just going back to how things used to be. That's all.
그럼
And that's fine by me. I think that's enough chit-chat with you then. Okay, if that's what you want. Oh, Zichun. What?
가문의 사람들에게
Please don't tell the family that I'll be participating, will you?
장군과는
I was told to keep this a secret for now.
이제 와서 그런 부탁을 한다.
Tell me one reason I should do you that favor now. For someone who supposedly doesn't care, Zichun appeared rather hurt as she took a moment to glare at Honk Lu, biting her lower lip. Then suddenly strode right up to him.
이게
Is this even your call, brother?
아니면
Or are you just following their orders? My participation in the family hierarchy war was already decided, or is already decided. Whoops. If you're still curious to know why, then... Zichun, do you believe that my choices carry any significant meaning? Oh, I see what's up. This crap again.
대전이 어떤
So you already know what participating in the war means, but you just have no idea why I'd ever ask you something like that, huh?
답은 됐어.
Fine. Looks like I don't even need to hear your reply. There's no point in trying with you anymore.
얄팍하고
At least I'll have fun watching how far you get with that shallow, meaningless attitude of yours. Hey, wait. This fucker. Jia Zichun appeared pretty distressed after that exchange, so I was about to say something when Pilot, who had been fiddling with the radio behind Sod, began shouting urgently. Oh, Manager Sod, a palanquin's been seen coming this way! I'd like to chill a bit today. Yesterday was so tough. Let's head on over so we can at least relax on the way there.
아니,
Nope,
지금
we're taking this one.
어차피 양보해주는 거야.
You never think twice about giving things up to others anyway, do you, brother? Huh? What the heck do you mean? Come on, let's do this fair and square with, like, rock, paper, and scissors? Wow, sure, why not decide the next hierarch with a game of rock, paper, and scissors too? How's that? Hey, cool dog. Jia Zichun gave us a wry grin before leaving. Wei followed her wordlessly. Boy, and I thought we were finally making some friends out here. Look, over there! There's a group waiting for a palanquin! One of them must be the candidate for the candidate the client told us about. Everyone, there's a group of hostile-looking people coming our way! Oh, fuck. Shi Yihua is unlikely to be the only one who is going after the other candidate's executive manager. We best take care of them before the next palanquin arrives. Yeah, what can we do, right? Win rate time. The RPS war. True. I'd win.
망설임이 없도록
I just drank water weird. Oh god. Oh fuck, I have to level my IDs to level 55, don't I? Is my car running? No. I don't need to catch it. For real, for real. You did it at 50? Okay. Doesn't matter to the last couple. He used N Corp, that's fucking crazy. I guess it isn't that crazy. What is the fucking EX clear on this? This feels really slow. I put a hoodie on, but now I'm hot, so I'm taking the hoodie off. Hold on. Okay, hoodie's off. You're doing R-Corp with a mix of something? I mean, there's like 4 R-Corp IDs, right? 10 turns, I'm chilling? Probably. These guys just feel kinda tanky. You'll do a Zwei team? That's fucking insane. How many good Zwei IDs are there? Like one? 1.5? 2? Yippee. Your shield moment. True. Solo Zwei Ishmael moment. No more signs of enemy reinforcements, executive manager. Phew, at least there's an end to them this time. The guys that attacked us when we first got here were endless. Well, that's because we walked right into a trap then. Shallow, but still. Anyways, Zichun appeared pretty hurt by that, didn't she? Honestly, though, I get why she feels so betrayed. Remember all those stories about Honklu's family we heard? Imagine you're one of their kids thinking you finally found, like, a potential ally in your family, only for him to pretty much stab you in the back last minute. Yeah, right? It was really awkward for me too, even though I wasn't exactly involved. Greg is cool too, but is he good? I know he, like, is the Zwei ID the one that chain smokes? Sod chimed in nonchalantly as though it wasn't her who pulled the plug on our alliance at the last second. Anyways, where's our escort? I can't imagine that H-Corp can't afford to send us guards with a palanquin. If this family loved each other enough to send escorts for their safety, I doubt they'd be holding a cutthroat ceremony like the family hierarch evaluations. It's a world where might makes right, where the strong prey on the weak. People won't bat an eye, even if one of the dozens of candidates is found dead in some ditch on the road. Faust Greg-ish Sinclair, not the bad one. Not the bad one is crazy. Oh, sorry, Honklu. I must have been running my mouth again without thinking about how that sounds. Someone usually stopped me before I got too far. Nah! Don't worry, you didn't say anything wrong. It took me a while to realize that the other families weren't like this, but there's no reason to be upset by the way things are. Faust again. Does Faust even have a Zwei idea? Why do I have Sloshmile in my fucking... What's that ominous metallic noise? The tolling of bells. Bells with a resonance unlike that of any other, normally marked by their clarity. This bell is muddled, as if it tolls for ill fortune on the horizon. Wow, that bell sure is a resounding reminder that I'm home again. It's the bell that tolls every once in a while. You can hear its resonance from anywhere in Hongyon. Slosh. It's restructuring day. Don't know how to say that or read it. Huh? But the restructuring day already. She trails off, unable to finish her sentence as the brutal scene unfolds behind us. Whoa, are you guys seeing this? The buildings are all starting to shift. It was as Ishmael said, the buildings all tethered to a complicated network of rails were either rising from or sinking into the earth. Maybe Frenchman as your 7th? Oh, did I have the option to deploy 7 people there? I remember, reading that they increased it from 6 to 7. Movement has been observed from every building in the vicinity. Everything is changing. The localized shifting of structures we had observed yesternight were not as sweeping as this. What you saw last night might have been a premonition of the restructuring day, nudging some buildings to their positions for a smoother overall redistribution of space. You have to go sweeping, perhaps. 07 Kroger. Now this is the real deal. Huh? That whole mess was just a premonition? It's a remnant of an old H-Corp that was there long before the current Hongyuan. This structure has been here for a while, so we can't quite know the nature or the purpose of its singularity, but at this moment, they shift based on current H-Corp restructuring standards. Fuck. They have a fucking restructuring song? Yet those who toiled and toiled have not to fear. Is it not joyous to have a place to rest your feet tonight? To those who weren't availed of fortune, this is simply the reality to bear. Only choice is to retreat in silence, to accept your fate as one might. Await the coming month, ponder how one might save their skin. How many shall plummet today, and how many shall remain? Hold on, not to all things too tight. Fuck, why is it still going? For you may lose sight of when to let go, in vain ignorance when you must take flight. The consequence of a reassembly for the evicted is an endless plummet. What the fuck? What? But a terribly distressing sight to behold, unable to do aught to help. Oh fuck. Is this another one of H-Corp's idiosyncrasies? I don't know. Didn't other nests have their own measures of one's wealth? As T-Corp makes use of time as currency? Exactly. H-Corp's measure of wealth and currency is based on how much space a person owns, measured by a scale they call rooms. I'd est. The measure of one's space is the measure of one's wealth. Exactly, so once every month, the worth of each person's labor and the quantity of their income are measured to determine how much space they are assigned. So they can just kick me out of my home for no reason? What kind of ridiculous rule is that? Well, it might appear that way to outsiders like us, but the calculations behind these redistributions are meticulously designed and have been here for a long time. So it seems to me that everyone just accepts them as a natural part of their lives. Have you seen this happen in person too, Hoglu? This restructuring day. I have. Sometimes I'd watch the cityscape from behind the railings of my room. It happened far, far away from me, but I could see it all very well. It was like then, when he was merely watching the featureless scenery pass him by. Dagwon-yon, my old home, was never too concerned about the restructuring days. We'd get more rooms some days, but we'd never, ever shrink. So I've never been affected by these restructuring days. I only ever witnessed them as they happened beneath me, high up in my room. You're... fine. I doubt there was anything you could have done, but... You just sat on your hands and watched all this shite? Heathcliff trailed off, but I could see that he was gritting his teeth. Another palanquin's coming! And there's your ride. I think we've chatted enough, so let's get you guys going. This is a palanquin? Yep. Looks like they sent us a palanquin large enough to comfortably seat a big crowd of people together. Young Master Jiabayu and his 12 honored guests, is that correct? It's 13 to be exact. But I thought Sod wasn't invited. Whoa, hold your horses. I was told that young Master Bayu's faction was just 12 people. Ever thought someday that you would get thrown out of your own house? No. Upon hearing that, Sod began aggressively striding toward him, causing the palanquin bearer to shrink in fear. Whoa, slow down, lady. We are 12 people. What's wrong? I mean, don't tell me this thing looks like a normal, contributing member of a clan to you? Whoa! Sod suddenly grabbed my shoulders and presented me before the bear like I was some product. I mean, that's a pretty unique head this one's got here. Don't think I've seen anything like it around here in Hongyuan. But isn't that just a prosthetic in the shape of a clock? I guess, but still. I mean, let me ask you something. Can you imagine why anyone in their right mind would stick a clock where their head gotta go? Even if they were hurting for cash? Ah, no way, ma'am, never. There are way more versatile biomodifications available here in Hongyuan than whatever that hack job is. Nobody in their right mind would.
제 말이요. 대체 무슨 사연인지는 몰라도
Came back from seeing the new Avengers movie. It was really good.
세상엔 우리
I have not seen
딱한 처지가 많은 법이죠.
any Marvel movies besides the first Iron Man and the first Avengers. Based and Cromer pilled. I can't believe Coffee Mancer would say this. Exactly, right? No idea what went down, but this fellow here sure seems to have fallen on hard times. Too bad we live in a world where such misfortune can befall an honest soul like them. Boy oh boy, looks like this one's got scammed. A nasty scam too. Whatever backstreets they got that from must have been a real scoundrel who did it. Tisk tisk.
더군다나 시간도 안 맞고 제대로 된 의식도 없어요. 이거 봐요. 입이 없어서 째까기는 소리 내는 것밖에 할
Thunderbolts is a crazy fucking name. Look, even the clock isn't on time, and this poor person is barely conscious. Look, all they can do is make these weird ticking noises because they don't even have a mouth. Those were some pretty darn hurtful things to say, but I decided not to take them at face value. It was pretty obvious what she was trying to do. Somebody tell Sod I'm getting dizzy. Good grief, you weren't kidding. Who could have done something so awful?
다행히도 우리 마음씨 고운 보호 도련님이 다른 둥지에서 시계상에
With the Fantastic Four? How fantastic.
주워온 거예요. 홍원에선
Here's the thing.
하는 것쯤은 일도
It's a real blessing. Holy fuck. That young Master Bayou's got such a kind-hearted soul. He simply could not walk past the Timepiece Emporium selling this human being like there's some toy or a tool. So he picked them up to get their head replaced with something proper. Hong Yuan's got more than enough resources for something like that, right? Oh, well, you're not wrong there. It's really easy to swap out your whole body as long as you've got the cash to burn. What? A new head? For me?
그렇죠?
Right? See what I mean? So that's why they told you that young Master Bayou only has 12 people in his faction, including yours truly. Wait, no fucking way.
하지만 저희도 무작정 데워주기엔 곤란.
Well, I see your point, but we can't just
곤란하시다는 건
let
우리
all of us
모두가
aboard,
아직
yes.
모르시죠.
Our young master fully understands the moral conundrum you find yourself in, so we'd like to offer you this tiny, tiny token of appreciation. Sod produced some bills from her pocket and smoothly slid them into the palanquin's bearer zone. Aw man, oh lady, you really shouldn't do this, I really shouldn't. Oh, and another thing, I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but if a word of this gets out, things might get pretty messy for the both of us, and that doesn't have to happen, does it? Indubitably, ma'am. I'm doing this purely out of the goodness of my heart, after all. What's a free ride to the downtrodden, eh?
안 된다는 놈이 왜 돈은 자연스럽게 주머니에 넣고 있는 거냐?
Gaslighting queen, true! My goat. Seems to me the bloke's doing this purely out of interest in the fatness of his wallet.
짜잔.
Alright, stop gossiping over there and get on board. Wait, are we leaving Pilot alone here? Pilot seemed to have noticed me staring in his direction. He stopped fidgeting with the radio and waved at us. Ah, don't you worry about me and have a safe trip over there. I've got some stuff to handle on the outside. Holy moly! This design is more akin to an extravagant limousine than a palanquin.
샴페인.
Oh, look, a bottle of champagne. Can I chug this? Of course not. Drinking while on a mission is... Okay. With a quick clap, Sod promptly put an end to the hubbub of the unexpectedly flashy appearance of a palanquin caused. Just like you, false. Her demeanor had shifted entirely into that of a calm and collected strategist, a far cry from the person who was chatting up a storm with the bear just a minute ago.
일 얘기하죠.
Time to get for work, everyone!
영광입니다.
Holy shit, you can deploy 7. Fuck my life. Wait, what am I supposed to do here?
고래를 향해 되어내겠습니다. 칼을 부딪힐 시간입니다.
그리고 그 후에
Then you'll...
잠깐.
Wait, something's going on outside. They have an alarm? Not long after Sod passed over Otis's remark, a grating speaker of wine rang out, followed by the worried voice of the bear on the other end. We're under attack! I thought things were going a little too easy.
여러분을
You know this clown? Herky? Herky?
믿겠죠?
It's no surprise that the other candidates are trying to eliminate us, just in case. Why am I not surprised? Holy shit, I have them outnumbered. Fuck.
저들의 공격은 우리의 투지를 꿰뚫을 수 없을 테니.
5 to 7? Yeah, sure.
원더풀 선택이었어 나리! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군!
My fucking bamboo-hatted mentor is taking L's.
저놈을 추적해.
True, I am the sweeper.
두려워하지 마시게.
신바르면 나른다네!
기세가 수그러지는 군. 반격의 기회다.
기회를 잡았네! 즐겁게 꼬리청이는 저자를 꺾어 넘긴다면
이 작살에
전투 사기가
필살의
떨어질
직렬이지.
돌격하세!
담겨 있지.
본인이 방금 무엇 한 것인가? 오, 엄청나게 강한 일격을!
살을 베어내고
방금 전에 위대한
죄를
일격을
새겨주겠어.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야지 않겠는가?
Absolutely massive Sinclair, thank you.
침착한 결과입니다.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가 버스에서
죄를
회고해야지
새겨주겠어.
않겠는가?
그렇지.
혈이 난자오.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않나.
살을 베어내고
기세가 수그러지는 군. 반격의 기회다.
비껴 베어버렸군.
배워냈어요.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을
물러서지
기록하는
않겠습니다.
중간에 버스에서
한
회고해야지
놈도 남지 않을
않겠는가?
때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 때는 없다.
Otis, your goat. I think... I actually don't know who's gonna do the most damage here. I feel like it would be... Faust or Dawn, maybe.
꽃은 지고 새로운 나무가 이곳에 움틀 것입니다. 그것이
That makes sense.
우리의 터전을 수호할 제목이라는 건
Is the, Is this stuff worth pulling on?
이 시간이야말로
On the 22nd? I have no boxes, and until
이 시간
the battle pass actually gets to, unlocking all the way, it's gonna be a while before I have boxes. They're poise. Oh shit, that's cool. But I'm not playing Rupture? Not yet.
칼을 부딪힐 시간입니다.
어떤 상황이 닥쳐도 포기하지 마세라. 저들의 공격은 우리의 투지를
Swift ambushing stranger. Wow.
불격! 원더풀 선택이었어 나리! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군!
저놈을 추적해. 대안은 충분합니다.
저들도 내가 물을 싫어하는
I hope Mirror Dungeon lets you use 7 people. Or at least the new one.
기세가 수그러지는 것.
소리를 엄청나게 강한 일격을. 방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가 버스에서 해봐야지 않겠는가.
배워냈어요.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
저놈을 추적해. 침착한 결과입니다. 대안은 충분합니다.
This season's mirror dungeon might. I hope they don't change the what do you call it?
저기는 땅에 떨어졌네.
The fusion gift requirement where you have to, or like the like status eco gift requirement where you have to like have 5 people. I hope they don't make it 6. It is a pretty big change.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
저기는 땅에 떨어졌네. 이제 우리를 누가 막힐까?
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨 있지.
How much extra damage do these guys even take from slash?
우리의 확고한 시야 눈앞에 있다.
Oh, they're fatal?
살을 빼어내.
흐트러지게.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중이라네. 이따가
망설임이
버스에서
없도록.
해고해야지 않겠는가?
혈이 난자오.
기세가 수그러지는 것. 저놈을 추적해.
꽃은 지고 새로운 나무가 이곳에 움틀 것입니다. 그것이 우리의 터전을 수호할
대관원 입성이요.
Despite some troubles on the way, it seemed that we managed to arrive at our destination mostly unhurt. Dagwan Yuan, Onk Lu's old home. Oof, we're running out of time. Faust, I'm sure you understood the most important part of my plan, right? It is unlikely to be a pleasant sight to behold. Remember, the plan hinges on your patience. Everyone. You have to remain calm and wait, even if they freak out and actively try to kill you. There is a chance that they might panic and immediately order for the sinners to be executed on the spot. However, it is unlikely that the person whose responsibility is to judge the next family hierarch of Hongyuan will make such a hasty response. Exactly. Everything's going to be fine as long as the decider has the capacity for patience. Execution, huh? Great. I'll follow up with a subsequent contact once you've safely completed the first round of the evaluations. The sinners need to remember that they are allowed to die. Is that something they forget? After that cryptic exchange with Faust, Saud leaped... I feel like I said that weird. Leaped gracefully off the moving palanquin as Heathcliff murmured in his half-sleep. Surely they wouldn't. We watched her grow smaller and smaller as the distance between us grew. Leapt. Wait, what? I didn't say leapt, did I? I'm so fucking confused. But what really caught our eyes was the scattered humans that the restructuring day had evicted from their homes. You were trying to drag their broken bodies off the road, sobbing and writhing. This is horrible. There isn't anything we can do to help, but
그런 무력한 감각.
such a sense of futility and powerlessness will negatively impact the efficient performance of your professional obligations. Repeated exposure to similar stimuli is recommended to desensitize oneself to to this sensation. Leapt is how I say it.
집에 돌아가시는 소감이 어때요?
How I say what? Fuck, wait, what are we talking about? How I should say it, how I should say what? Ah! Leapeth. Leaped. Leapt. Slept. Huh? When did I say leap? Leapt? You're disowning me. So Hong Lu, how do you feel about going back home after so long? Skincare changed the subject. I don't know. Don't even need to ask him, lad. I know it can't be easy. As for me, blimey, I hesitated almost 1,000 times, wondering if I should just turn around and leave. What if I knocked on those gates, but she... Heathcliff came to a suffocating stop, his voice trembling lightly as he did so. The other sinner stared at him in confused silence. Oof. Wait, what is it? Why'd you stop in the middle of a... Oh, wow, look at those cool windows! I think we can swap them out with other images. I quickly tried to swerve from the subject again, but all I got was Ishmael's scolding glare that seemed to wordlessly tell me, not the time. Oof-hoo-hoo, I remember.
각자의 희노애락이 있었던 도시로 향했을 때 여러분들은 모두 버스에서 각자의 풍경을
I remember what happened each time one of us returned to the part of the city that held our memories. Memories of happiness, anger, sorrow, and joy. And as we traveled, I remember that they were all looking at sceneries only they could see.
로자 씨는 계속 어설프게
Rhodia,
농담을
you
시작하고
awkwardly tried your best to crack jokes. Sinclair, you tried your best to hold back the welling tears again and again. Yisong, you shut your eyes for a long, long time.
이스마일 씨는
Ishmael, you couldn't stop talking to yourself while glaring down at the lake's surface. And Heathcliff saw you scared and anxious, shaping your hair over and over again. You've really been watching us closely, huh? Did we?
봄 가버리면
Spring leaves, petals scatter, and all shall turn around to find the doors to which they belong and return forevermore. I think everyone has a small mound of petals they gathered for themselves. Well, I don't... Why would anyone collect something like that? Then you simply haven't discarded them yet. There is still a transparent smile on his face, but I think I saw a burying, sinking shadow behind it? Yeah, behind it. That's so bright. The moment I felt that, a familiar light came into view, and I immediately understood what was going on. The golden bow is close, and it is resonating with Honk Lu's fathoms. They watch the flower burial of mine and mock away. Who lays me to rest once I die? When spring passes, youth passes, as wrinkles shear it all away. Flowers pass, people pass, and ignorant they remain to where they die. They hie. Why do you always recite these strange, complicated poems, Daiyu? There are plenty of ways to remain young, aren't there? It's because we needn't see the snow in our hair to know that spring will pass. Why are you cleaning up those fallen petals? Just float them away downstream, you'll get dirt on your hands. And be so wasteful? How will we hear the sound of falling rain once we sweep all the petals away? This is a remembrance of a rainy day, so I'm gonna treasure it. Besides, these beautiful blossoms will get so dirty in the stream if we let them float away. So please, don't scatter all the petals from your embrace, big bro Bayou. Honk Lu, is there anyone you miss here at Dagwon Yon? No, there isn't. But how's that possible? Isn't your family here? And a bunch of other people who are so important to you?
글쎄요.
Well, as long as I believe them to be doing well. There isn't any need for me to yearn to see them again. Do you still treasure your petals?
아니요.
No, I scattered them all the day I departed my home.
그래서 이젠 비
So my rainy days are now silent. I see.
오신 거죠?
You saw that, didn't you, Dante?
제 기억을.
You saw my memory. I did. Hee Honk Lu laughed. He wasn't surprised or angry that I peered into his memories. You want to tell us about your parents? Or, yeah, you talked about your grandmother pretty often, right? What kind of people are they? Maybe he was trying to commiserate. Tenuous as that connection might have been, we were headed to his home to meet his family anyway.
두 분 다 이치에
Ah, they are both very wise in the ways of the world.
할머니는
Grandmother always treated me preciously.
어머니도 아버지.
So did my mother and my father.
아,
We're almost here.
정원이
I can see the garden. This is one massive garden.
뭔가 안으로 들어가.
We still have some time before we get to the main buildings. I remember the days when deer and hares would frolic out here in the garden. Foo-hoo.
이거 산책하려면 하루 종일.
Well, I can see myself taking a long walk around here. It'd take a whole day and then some to cover the entire ground.
저는
I usually lingered only around my own room. It's dangerous to stray too far after all. It's dangerous? Why?
잘못된 길을 걷.
There's the stranger danger, getting lost, getting targeted. Besides, it's very dark at night. Well, that ain't a very big deal, is it? Kids run around, scrape their faces on the branches, trip and eat shite on the pavement all the time. Hee I'm sure you would have run freely around the garden, Heathcliff, but it's important to always be careful.
제가 5살 때는
When I was 5, someone had lathered a deadly poison on a random tree branch. Ack! Poison?
히스클리프 시
I had a little brother who liked to frolic like you do, Heathcliff. But by some coincidence, he happened to be running around the same tree that had its branches lathered with poison. What hath transpired thereafter?
괜찮아졌을 거예요.
I'm sure he got better.
스빈이 백반만
Ziren told me he'll be just fine after 100 nights rest.
스빈은 언제나
And because Ziren was always so smart, I'm sure it happened exactly as she said. That kid's dead. Oh boy. Oh, more reading. Help me.
화청 입성이요.
Fuck. It wasn't long before our arrival to the new place within Dagwanyan was made known by the palanquin's bearers, Sonorous. Fuck. Announcement. Ziren is very smart. That's true.
화청은 또 뭐야?
More buildings. What's... Fuck. Dahuating mean anyway? Grand flower halls, so I think you could call it a place for banquets? Ah, so you host banquets in this village-sized venue? Is that a lake over there? Nope, it's a pond. Pond? Damn! Once we arrive, we will find ourselves a welcoming party for Zichun and me.
아,
Rodia, would you you should be able to stuff yourself to your heart's content this time. It's been a while, hasn't it?
도착하기 전부터 이렇게 설렌 적은
I don't think I've been this excited in a long time. Whoa, is that a ship over there? You have a ship? Haha, yep, we'd sometimes go out boating.
그리고
Oh, and Zichun's building is right across that pond. You each get a building of your own?
네.
Yes, we do. So when I first departed from Hongyuan, I found the concept of an entire family living under the same roof so fascinating.
이래서는
Alas, 'twould be quite the challenge for thy family to see one another.
그러기 위해서
And that's exactly why we each get a building. Are we even talking about the same thing here?
이럴 거면
Alack, for woe! We could have barely enjoyed our vacations. Vacaciones at young Honk Lu's residence all along?
곤란해요. 동
That wouldn't have worked, Don Quixote. When I left home, grandmother and the elders really impressed upon me that
때가 되면
the footsteps shall eventually bring you home when the time is right. Thus witness, and only witness, as much of the world as you may before you make your return.
이제 오려나 했는데 시간이 속절없이
Sonorous?
정말 와버렸네요.
Oh, I gotcha. Sonorous? Is that really? Wasn't it like S-O-N-O? I was wondering when that would be, but time really slipped through our fingers, and just like that, it brought me here. Most sinners did not welcome their turn. Some of them were even terrified of it. Sometimes they had to confront what they had been avoiding all their lives. And for some, important things that were once forgotten or lost were waiting for their return. But their reluctance is really not surprising at all. I don't think I'd welcome an opportunity to get my memories back with open arms if it was thrust upon me out of nowhere, especially if I was getting dragged there against my will. But despite the fact that it couldn't be more obvious that his turn had arrived, Honk Lu was as tranquil as he always was. He's always been able to remain aloof no matter what happens. Maybe it won't be different this time either. But even so, can I judge that so hastily? Young Master Bai of the Jia family has returned! Again, with the palanquins bear's deep, full-throated pronouncement of our arrival, the door opened.
자, 필요하실 텐데.
Here we are. You must all be so tired. Come in, come in. Leaving behind the sinners who were still reeling from the astronomical level of opulence at display, Honk Lu bounced lightly off the palanquin and moseyed into the building. Fuck, what did he say? Quite the light-footed steps he take, unhindered by excitement nor trepidation. Right? Rich boy's got nothing to fear because he's used to this kind of poshness, that's all this is. Verily, this may be a subtle expression of that teensy part of him that longeth to see his family again. I find myself beset by overwhelming vastitudes and objects of great magnitude. Just how many servants do they have? Ah, grandmother will visit us once zoo hour arrives. The banquet will start then, I think. Zoo hour? The zoo hour refers to the... or is it who? I don't fucking know. Between 1900 and 2100, this is a unique time system used in certain regions of the East. In addition, it would be best to remember that Honk Lu's grandmother, Jiamu, is the hierarch of Dongyuan. It would not be an incorrect assessment to see her as the ruler of Hongyuan. Your relative is the head of a wing, I see. Yes, though she'll be handing that over to the next heir pretty soon. Why now? What does she seek to achieve by abdicating at this precise time? Otis, as she probably saw an ulterior motive behind every move, inquired. She's been saying that her time would eventually come, and that she's carried this responsibility for too long.
갑자기 나타나서 가주대전에 참가한다고 하면 깜짝 놀라시겠어요.
I bet she'd be pretty shocked to see that you'll... to hear that you'll be taking part in the family hierarch war.
글쎄요. 어쩌면
Hee, I don't know about that. Maybe she'll take it well.
구태여 나갈 이유는
There's never been a reason for me to bother participating, but there wasn't a reason for me to not, either. Huh? Hey, there's Zichun and Wei over there. Looks like they both arrived safely. Jia Zichun, who arrived before us, shot us the briefest glance, before looking away with exaggerated disinterest. Zichun just turned her back on us. Well, it didn't take long for things to become super awkward. Oh, we must capture this opportunity to seat ourselves adjacent to young Zichun. Too late. We are forever banned from getting anywhere near her. Yet, wherefore? We are no longer Jia Zichun's faction. Her hostility is to be expected. Things have changed. Us versus them, in-group versus out-group. Deception and treachery are natural parts of war. An ally of today may as well become an enemy of tomorrow. And that's a funny way to say I don't have any friends. What did you just... Ah, there are my parents. Hold on, we're just walking right up to them? Blimey, at least tell us their names! Aha. Father's name is Zhang of the Jia family, and in Dagwan Yuan, they call my mother Lady Wang.
출가 이후
I greet you for the first time since my departure. Baiyu of the Jia family has returned home. You're early. Wow.
이게 몇 년 만이니?
How the fuck did she say that?
보가 이게
I'm just gonna... Bow, dear Baiyu. It's been too many years.
오랜만에 얼굴을 보니
To see you again after so long, it is good to see your face. Oh, I don't know what I should even say. The father, Jia Zheng's eyes dart nervously between us and Honk Lu. Boo. Meanwhile, his mother gingerly brings him in for a careful embrace as though she was in the presence of something so utterly, deeply moving. It was more than pure joy of reunion. So they're Honk Lu's parents. Thank you so much for your hospitality. You've certainly spared no expenses. Majin Buu.
그런데 같이 온 분들은 누구니?
So who are these people you've come here with?
대단한 숫자는 아니지만
Well, there aren't too many of them. They are my friends I made out in the world.
부하라고 소개하고
At least he's not introducing us as his lackeys like a certain someone I know. Oi, that's... Honk Lu's mother slowly turns around to look at us. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but somehow it almost felt like she was looking down at each of us one by one.
반가워요.
I am so glad to meet you all.
기가 어릴 때부터 참 고집이
So what, is this
많았어.
Buyu?
어쩌면
Buyu's always been such a stubborn child. I'm sure he was quite the handful to accompany you on your journeys. I hope you can still embrace him despite every... Stubborn? Honk Lu? Whatever it was she said, they don't seem all too happy to hear that.
보가
Dear Buyu,
왜
why do you allow your friends to call you by that name? What of your noble, blessed name bestowed upon you by the revered Jianren, our elders? What's going on with her? Honk Lu reached out and gently yet indifferently held his mother's violently trembling hands. Of course I would, mother. Because the name is too noble indeed. The entire name is Boo, more or less. Gonna keep reading it as Baoyu.
그렇지.
Oh, yes. It is not a name that any rabble should so heedlessly speak.
아무렴.
Of course, of course. Do you also have an old name and a new name? Well, don't you remember back in P Corp, Wei called Honk Lu, young master... Fuck. Baoyu.
지난번 홍원에서
Also, remember how he announced himself before that duel on the day we arrived at H Corp? He introduced himself as Baoyu of the Geo family. I thought it was a pseudonym back then, though, given the circumstances. Tree.
우리랑 다르게 고귀한
What does this tree mean? That's not broccoli, is it? No, it's a tree. But it ain't like us calling your real name's gonna cheapen its nobility or whatever, Tisk. It's just a name, so you can say it as many times as you want and it won't depreciate in whatever value it has. Oh, but some people do actually believe that it does, I suppose. It was wise of you to refrain from using that name. Right. To let your precious name be known among the plebeian populace is to encourage the knives in the dark to strike. Even here, too.
친의 말씀대로
It is as your mother says, were your true name to be made known, any individual with a passing connection to H Corp would have easily connected you to Hong Yuan. It is said that most names are repositories of their keeper's origins. In the eastern region of the city, when the parents name their children, they imbue them with meaning. It carries their wish for their children's place and use in the world.
내놈. 이름의 뜻이 뭐지?
You said the tree because you got Baoyu mixed up with Banyan? You're stupid. Wait, who the fuck is Banyan? You, what's your name? Wait, my name. My name is a culmination of wishes, not only those of my parents, but those of many more. It means that I was born with the precious jade. Jia Baoyu. Tisk awful, Honk Lu's better. What? That's insane to say, Ryoshu. At least try to whisper! I'll call the rich boy however I want to. If I'm ever forced to call him Young Master Baoyu or some servile shite like that, I'd rather take a punch or two from the guide. Bananya. Bananya. Fuck. Bianyanya. I could feel the horrified gaze of the servants staring at. I said that weird. gaze like the red gaze, not like gaze like of the servant staring at us. Hee hee, I don't mind, so please continue to call me Honk Lu if you want.
케빈들께선 자리에 앉아주시길 청하옵니다.
Please seat yourselves, honored guests. The food will be served soon. The fuck was that? Holy shit! Oi, what's all this? Do they actually expect us to eat all of this? I don't think I've ever been intimidated by food before. There was quite literally a mountain of smiling bodies on the table. I was starting to wonder if the purpose of these dishes was more to flaunt their wealth than to feed us a reasonable amount of food.
이거 말이야.
What a feast! I can ask for refills, right? Yes. Anyway, what's up with those empty seats over there? Are we still killing time for some guests to arrive?
그건 아닐 것 같아요.
I don't think so. They're probably just seats for my older sibling somewhere in Dongyuan.
어딘가에 있는.
They probably just didn't want to attend.
오늘은 저를 환영하기
This is a banquet to welcome me, after all. I'm sure they believe it's a waste of time to attend.
시간 낭비라고 생각하는 걸 거예요.
거참 얼마나 부지런.
Man, they better be on some real busy schedule to miss this. Jiamu, venerated be her presence, graces us! Jiamu, venerated be her presence, graces us! With the announcement, utter silence quickly devoured the busy hubbub of the banquet. Those who were sitting quickly rose to their feet and bowed, while those who were standing knelt down on all fours, their backs bent so low that their foreheads were nearly touching the floor. And the woman walking out from between them, the crowd itself parting down the middle from her sheer presence. The red gay. Gays plural or singular? Take your pick. Oh, there's grandmother. Was Honk Lu's grandmother, the family hierarch of H Corp, and its CED. The fuck? Chief Executive Director. Jiamu's presence was at once warm, gentle, yet immersive and overwhelming, like a personification of an insurmountable mountain. We are graced by your presence, venerable Jiamu. We are graced by your presence. Presence, venerable Jiamu. Well, should we bow too? I don't think you could bow any lower with your face halfway in the bowl, so you should be fine. Probably. She's surrounded by the high show too, I think. Guys, everything's gonna be fine as long as we don't do anything stupid. As everyone was bowing before Jiamu, awed and humbled, only Honk Lu looked straight at Jiamu without bowing. Then he got up from his seat and walked toward her.
할머니,
It has been a while, grandmother. Please ascend, young Master Bayu. It seemed that a special permission was needed to even stand next to her, as Honk Lu was allowed to approach her only after the servant gave him the go-ahead. Little Bayu, you must have walked and toiled tirelessly on your journey home. Not at all, grandmother. I was able to learn so many new things thanks to everyone who treated me so nicely. Had you sought to master the art of learning, no master, regardless of pursuit, would have been out of our reach. You could have learned much in the halls of erudition from them. Yet the world taught from sheets of paper that are simply that, words on paper. We wish that you, dear Bayu, would learn more of the secular world, to not let flow betwixt your fingers the time that is given to you. I know, this opportunity was more than what I deserved, grandmother. I appreciate your return all the same, that you've deigned to return before me ere my abdication of the great responsibility. Verily, it appeareth that young Honk Lu Hong Liu. The fuck? Verily, it appeareth that young Hong Liu signed onto Limbus Company as a Gran Turismo shorts. Gran Turismo? What's that? Can you two stop babbling with your mouths full? Young masters of families most eminent are oft sent out to the world on a grand tour. Thus coined was this practice Gran Turismo, if thou wilt, afore they are to commence their public activities. The purpose is to learn the varied experiences that cannot be gained from books, to grow familiar with the world outside. I hear that you have met with Zichun in the world not long ago. I have. A bright child she is, well prepared to take on the challenges of the family hierarchy evaluations, I presume. How is everyone I've watched confused by Dawn talking with her mouth full? You are just fluent in gibberish. I'm not.
맞아요. 시춘이라면
I agree, Zichun will wisely overcome the trials. Indeed. Have you paid a visit to the revered elders? I will soon. TM. Lady Wong is sent here as well. With your mercy, Jiamu, of course. Hawk Lu's mother hurried up to where Jiamu stood. Do you have to speak gibberish often? Back in your college days? It must cause your heart great distress to have your one and only son depart his home, to wander the world beyond the hedges. Of course not, Jiamu. Oh, I am simply so glad that my son, Bayu, has returned as a man who can now more than carry his own weight, and unharmed too. Oh, little do they know. You had to interpret it. I don't mean to rush, but when are you planning to depart again? Nothing has been decided yet, Mother. I see. I am simply concerned that were your stay here to be prolonged, perhaps you might fade before your duties are completed. Complete your duties and return soon so that the agreement Jiamu has so graciously made for us is fulfilled, Indeed. Lose not, forget not. You are our family's one and only jade. Dear Bayu, our peerless treasure, tarry not overlong in this mundane world. Leave when the time is right and fulfill your worth.
그럴게요.
Okay, grandmother, mother. Got hard to understand when she was tired. You just have years of experience. I thought the sinners were doomed to chew uncomfortably through this incredibly awkward meal, but Jiamu and her retinue of Haisho left the banquet hall quite promptly after that exchange. It was as though they had no more reason to remain here. It is odd that they should inquire Honklu of his departure plans on the very welcoming of his return. Right? One moment it appears like they really care about him, then... The appearance of that care for one's own child was also quite distinct and unusual compared to the typical display of emotional intimacy expressed in average households. Hey, Bayu. Why did you come see me first? I've been staying in the same building ever since you departed here, you know? Aha, Big Sis... Fuck. Jue Baochai? It's been so long. You've come here all the way to my welcome banquet to fill a seat? I appreciate that. Had I known you'd be coming home today, Bayu, I would have summoned everyone I could from the Joy family to see you too, big bro. Han's really been itching to know how you've been doing. Yeah, sure he was. Zichun, who's been sitting in complete silence for the entire banquet, muttered quietly to herself. Who else have you greeted since you arrived today, Bayu? My parents and Jiamu. Really? So I'm your first then? He made a cheerful remark before leaning up close to his eye. Your jade is always so glimmering and pristine, Bayu. Look, I made myself a necklace in the same color as your eye and wore it every single day to constantly remind myself of you. Well, do you see it? Yeah, we see it. Oh, you have. Thank you for remembering me. So are you gonna introduce her to us, or... Hey, why couldn't we just let that nice reunion play out? Man. Rhodia stepped forward, unable to stand the curiosity. Oh, she's... Hi, I'm Baochai. Baochai of the Zui family. I have a very profound relationship with dear Bayu here. Very profound relationship? He is my... Huh? Betrothed, and I to him. I'd say that's pretty profound, Ah!
그렇게 놀라실 일도 아니랍니다. 어르신들이 지나가듯 약속해서 맺는 인연은
It's nothing to be surprised about. These profound relationships can be established effortlessly in the simple exchange of agreements between our elders.
아니, 그래도
Wife.
말을
That,
해줘야지 그랬어.
that, yeah. Hey, you could have at least given us a hint. But I won't be married until I leave Limbus Company, though.
그러니 굳이
I just thought it wasn't relevant enough to share. Fuck, is that not how you... I have never read it. I mean, like, I've read it before, but, like... I don't read out loud frequently. Is that not how I pronounce it? I just thought that it wasn't relevant enough to share.
아까 살짝 들려.
So, sorry about overhearing earlier, but you guys are Bayou's friends, right?
보기가 지금까지
I've been so curious to hear what kind of life Bayou lived out here,
궁금한데.
out there. Care to share some tales of your journey with me?
우리들의 여행기를
어린은 가라. 함부로 들을 이야기가 아니.
Beloathed with a TR? Betrothed? I don't remember what I said. I thought I said it kind of like that. Don't have stories for kids. Shoo. Why? But I love stories about bloodshed. Ah, one of Big Sister's Baochai's pastimes was curating creepy stories of urban legends. Puff, then maybe I'll share some. Fucking Ryoshu. Wow, what about everyone else? I love, love, love adventure stories. Be careful what you wish for.
후회하지 않을 자신 있겠어?
Ah, I beseech thee to find a seat, for I shall now regale thee with a tale in which an adventure of most wondrous valor unfolds. Brace thyself, for this particularly olden and terrifying tale features a big, scary bear lurking in a cavern.
식사 끝났어.
If you're finished with your meals, why don't we all go back to our residences?
춘이는
You're so angry again, Zichun. Last I heard, you lost much of your followers in a large battle, didn't you? I'm so sorry. I used more than 3 handkerchiefs, wiping away my tears upon hearing that news.
벌써 설씨가의
So the Joy's families heard it too, huh? Betrothed, if you will. I got the vowel wrong as soon as I changed the L to for the TR? No way. Beloathed? Betrothed? Wait. How did I fuck it up? I'm so... what the fuck?
하지만 그런 건 가주대전에서 보여줄 활약과는 아무 관계없어.
You're not wrong, but that's irrelevant to what I've brought to the family hierarch war. Always a big fan of your confidence, Zichun. It's a good look, you know?
그리고
Oh, that reminds me. You better watch your back, big sis Baochai. Looks like Big Brother Bayou's learned how to sink a knife into your back with that same carefree smile.
갑자기 뒤통수 치는 게 재주가
What'd she mean by you knifing people in the back? Haha, I just had a small falling out with Zichun, that's all.
아하, 시춘이가 너를 포섭하려고 했던 모양이구나.
I missed the A sound? Wait, so... Fuck, wait. Beloathed? Betrothed? What did I say? Like, betrothed? I don't know. Zichun must have been trying to get you on her side, huh? Yeah, no wonder she wanted you on her team. Bayou's always excelled at whatever he does without stressing out or losing that happy smile. It just kinda worked out that way. I guess he can be a bit irritating like that, huh? Some people, though, rare, are indeed like that. Oh, that reminds me. Did you by any chance run into Big Brother, Chi? How do you... I don't know. I haven't, but they have. That's good. You're going insane? It can't be. I'm the one going insane here. She placed her hand over her chest as though she had just survived an incredibly dangerous accident before eyeing us anxiously. So, what happened? I do know that he was trying to ally with the Shi Yihua. I mean, it didn't seem like anyone else was viewing that as an alliance other than the Shi Yihua himself, but it must have been a pretty open secret among the candidates that Jia Chu was trying to ally with Shi Yihua. They cut Big Brother Yihua's head off when he was with us. Oh my! Horizontally or vertically? H. So this is his 3rd time, huh? Yihua's really incorrigible. He never knows when to zip it and sit down. Well, Big Brother Chu, I have a feeling that he'd be here when the family hierarchy war begins. Everyone in Dagwon Yuan's heard that creepy song from the back streets, you know. Gosh, things get so awkward and hostile here in Dagwon Yuan every time there's any mention of him. Well, I guess it's fortunate that he won't be coming after me once the competition begins. And why is that? Oh, yikes, yikes, yikes. Big Brother Yaoi Hands Confucius. Fucking crazy. Horizontal split reference? True. Because Honk Lu's not participating. He's... oh, never mind. Oh, she's so dead. Because I'm simply too charming and adorable to kill outright, of course. Besides, whatever Big Brother Chu's goals are, they probably have nothing to do with the Jue family. I can see that. Bao Chai took a step toward Honk Lu and leaned in close to his face. Do you smell my fragrance still by you? You have never reeked, big sister Bao Chai. By you, I've always been, and always will be, residing at Hangwu Yuan. Promise to pay me a visit before you leave. She's one of the 3 main characters. She could always survive and become our enemy. No, she's dying. With that, she gracefully walked out of the room. Well, how about we also start heading back? This place can get pretty dark around high hour. You? Why'd you leave? Aha, it's nothing. She's just a big sis I used to play with when I was a child. One of the very few in Dagwon Yuan who was nice to me. So where should we head to next?
이런 집이면 이번엔 정말 기대해봐도 되는 거지?
Good question. Just by going by the scale of everything in here, it should be safe to expect something real ritzy, right? You're my guest, so you should be able to stay at my building within Dagwon Yuan. It's within walking distance from here. We should be there in no time, even on foot. Pride and gluttony. I'll just use this and see how it goes. Ta-da! Here we are! That was a pretty long walk, still technically within walking distance, but... Hehe, this place is called... Yihong Yuan. This room was made from the most aromatic flower tree within H-Corp. Try taking a deep breath and... You can smell the lovely fragrance of flower aroma, spreading from the very tip of your nose. It's unique to this building. Very much so. It is an unseen, invisible thing, yet it retains much of its pleasant redolence. This place is huge too. You've been living here alone all along? Yes, I was told to stay in a larger room, but I preferred this place more. It has been long, young master Ziren reporting. Oh hey, is she? Have you been well, Ziren? Yes, I am, as I always have been. Ziren watched us emotionlessly as our rowdy crowd poured into the yard. Her expression did not change even when she saw Honk Lu, who presumably hadn't been home in quite some time. Are they young master's guests? I will guide them to their room. Please follow me. Now that we're here, I've got to go pay a visit to somewhere. I'll be back soon, though. To where wilt thou journey? Allow us to accompany thee. Ah, it's okay. Just on my way to say hello and pay my respects to the elders, so it'll be better if I go alone. This way. Well, I guess I could say this about every operation, but the weight of our mission doesn't really sink in until we're actually there. You're talking about the family hierarchy war, right? Yeah, the other candidates have been preparing for this for years while we have, what, an overnight? I don't know, I'm a procrastinate until the last minute kind of gal, so I'm pretty sure we got a handle on this. This is not the first instance in which we are demanded to work through a task in an unfavorable, inequitable situation. Why does it matter? Our goal isn't to claim the throne of the family hierarch anyway. A few hours ago. Well, isn't it such a relief that our goal isn't to come first place in the family hierarch war? Dost thou mean us to say that we needn't be the first? Yeah, obviously, why would we want a sinner to become the head of H Corp? Would it not provide a much more reliable means of control to plant an individual of this company at the highest seat of a wing, instead of letting an unaffiliated individual assume it? There's a lot more going on behind the scenes, guys. Besides, LCB still has much left to do as the LCB. Then, would I be right to assume this isn't a winner-take-all kind of situation here? Do other candidates get something for participating too? Anyone who places within the top 10 will gain the right to take one item of their choice from the family treasury. Of course, the one who places the highest goes first. But we're looking to have to come in at least second place in order to ensure that we obtain the item we're looking for. Now that's weirdly insulting. Sod it. Why don't we just shoot for the top anyway? Your confidence seems to have gone through the roof since our last operation together. Well, we did go through a lot of crazy stuff. Anyways, care to guess what's deep inside Hong Yuan's gargantuan treasury? The golden bow. Right on, buried in the middle of all kinds of other treasures, along with any knowledge of its true value. So Faust, what did Manager Salad share with you as our strategy for the first round? I very much wish to know that as well, for the suggestion of mutual understanding seemed to exist exclusively betwixt Miss Faust and Sod. The first round of the family hierarch evaluation tests what the descendants have prepared and brought for the elders of Hong Yuan. What the descendants have prepared, huh? This must be what Jia Zichun's been referring to this whole time. Yes, to be free from aging and death, immortality. Each candidate is to present an answer before the judge to demonstrate their idea of true immortality. So, what's the answer to true immortality then? Not even Faust can answer that. Then what are we even doing here? But we may be able to demonstrate a facsimile of immortality, or at least pretend as though we are close to the answer. Given that they are the ones who are seeking that very answer, they will not disqualify us, Onklu to be exact, from the competition. I see, they will cling on to whatever clue they can get their hands on, so we'll be using that desperation. Precisely. That important looking old bat at GMU favors him, don't she? Maybe she'll give him bonus points or something. So that's what we'll be using Honk Lu for. That is... Yes, you're right, it is my turn to be used. Whoa! When'd you get back? Honk Lu nonchalantly chimed into the conversation, having slipped in between us unnoticed. Hey, you're back pretty soon, huh? Unfortunately, what Otis just said did sound quite crass depending on how you cut it. Honk Lu, you don't have to... Don't mind what she just said. But why would I mind it?
저의 쓰임새는 홍원에 있는 황금가지를 회수하기 위한 것. 그리고 그러기 위해 가주 대전에 나가는 것이니까요.
Facsimile?
그릇된 말은 아니랍니다.
Facsimile? Facsimile? Wait, what? When did that word even pop up? Facsimile. Is that not facsimile? That's really facsimile? I don't believe you. My use is to be a ticket to participating in the Hierarch War, the only option for obtaining the Golden Bow in H Corp. She didn't say anything wrong. Your use. Well, if you'll be using me, hopefully this will lead to an outcome we can all be happy with. Verily, such outcome would be best, yet young Zichun hath already exhaled with great gusto out of her nostrils before turning away from our party when our eyes met. Well, Zichun. Epitome? Wait. Facsimile? Epitome? Are those words related? Wait, what? Oh, did you want me to say epitome? I could say it like epitome for you, if that'll make you happy. Honk Lu's eyes twinkled briefly as though he was shifting into a dream.
다시 사이가 좋아지게 될 줄은
I didn't think it was possible for me to be friends with Zichun again.
지금은 다시 원래 상태로
We're back to not being on speaking terms again, but
잠깐이라도
it was as though I had gone back in time, back to when we were both children. Don't I dare? Oh, I dare.
다시 오지 않을 시절이죠.
But we can't go back to the past. What did you say? Are you drunk on something? Did you really just say that to me? Oh, what a stupid thing of me to ask. You've never been drunk in your life. Your mind's always been so damn clear. None of this matters to you, does it? Even when I get angry at you or when I shout at you like this, none of it gets to you, does it? Just what happened to you that day? How can someone become so... Zichun, he is so much fucking taller, what? Holy shit!
제대로 된 가족이 한 명쯤은 있을 거라 기대한 내 잘못이지.
Pronunciation, Gore? I would never mispronounce words. I am the epitome of pronunciation. Forget it. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. It's my fault for expecting to have at least one normal sibling in this messed up family. He's so much taller than her. What the fuck? In that memory, Honk Lu was wearing a quiet smile even before her hushed anger. But don't you want to be friends with her again? At the end of all things, these connections between people, they're just moments. Ephemeral things.
그러니 저의 뜻이 어떻든
So what I want
상관이 없-
doesn't matter. A sinner so aloof, so detached that it feels as though he's always floating through clouds. I once thought that was just the kind of guy he was. Someone who just happened to be above everything that's happened around us, instead of just another messed up person with messed up problems of their own. But slowly and gradually, I had begun to realize that there was something off about him under the surface. Honk Lu, about participating in the family hierarchy war. Do you really not feel anything about it? Have you completely excluded yourself from it?
네.
I don't,
그냥 그런
and I have.
거라고
It's just the way things worked out, right?
관리자님, 애초에
Quali
가치 판단
it is true that that his value judgment will have no tangible influence on on this company's direction.
호스트도 동의합니다.
Faust is in agreement. Sinners do not have the right to refuse their missions.
사실일 테야.
That may be true, yet
그에 따르는 마음의
I find it unnecessary to turn away and neglect the suffering conditions of their hearts, stemming from the obligations to their missions.
마음 상태라
Conditions of our hearts, but perhaps unnecessarily peering into them is how we beget suffering.
그것이 무슨
What manner of... Back then, when I lived here in Dagwon, Yuan,
제게는 수많은 선택지가
so many choices passed before my eyes.
다른 가문의 그
Should I kill that child who was from a different family? Should I even survive? Should I walk past that dying boy, or should I stop to help him? When they were first presented to me, I tried to make a choice, but it didn't take long for me to realize that my choices meant nothing.
그래서 졌던
So I decided not to choose at all.
겁니다. 그게 지금의 저예요.
And that's me, as I am now.
림버스 컴퍼니에 입사.
There were so many wonderful things about joining Limbus Company, but
제가 무언가
I think my favorite part of the experience was that I was never given a choice. That's definitely kind of weird. Oh, looks like things have gotten weirdly quiet around here.
여기까지 하도록.
That was enough discussion of private matters. There isn't much ground for us to cover. Let us begin by discussing our plan for the first round. There's still some time until we have to leave.
잘 보이지
What may be the purpose of these scarecrows, veiled in nocturnal shadows they were at yesternight?
아, 아직도 있었네요.
Oh wow, they're still here.
그들이 거처하는 건물 앞에
There are training courts next to every building where children of this place live.
걷고 뛸 날
Here, every child of walking, running age all get to play with these dummies. Play, puff. Early education.
수업이랑
Yet, how doth one play with these dummies? And it appeareth that this dummy is adorned with the most dashing piece of fashion for its head.
아, 그건 제가
Aha, that's the first dummy I received when I was 7.
그때는 말이죠. 허수아비
Hehe.
그리면
Back then I thought even dummies could feel pain when struck. Such was the blissful rumination of all those who were once children.
여기에 태어난
So is it like tradition for kids born here to formally learn how to fight?
아, 그건
Oh,
아니에요.
not exactly. Whoa, so this is what grandmother gifted you, big bro? Yep, I don't know how it works though. Must be a doll or an effigy for dress up. Oh, perhaps you could adorn it with some trinkets? Maybe it's got like a guardian spirit that protects your house, big bro Bayou? Oh boy. Here, let me show you how it's done. Why'd you punch grandma's gift? Don't you think you're hurting it? Hurt it, really now, this wooden thing.
자라나야 살아남을
It's more that they have to grow up this way if they want to survive. This WTD isn't so bad. This wooden training dummy appears to have been designed and crafted with some precise engineering craftsmanship.
남았으니
We still have some time until departure, so why don't we try using them for a warm-up exercise? I don't want to get all sweaty though. Well, it's not like these things will pose us any danger. I think we can try them out just once to see how we're doing today.
그렇나 제군들.
Attention! We have orders from the executive manager. From this moment forth, we will put our all into laying utter ruin into these training dummies. Yeah, I didn't even give an order. Oh well, it won't hurt to get our blood pumping now. All forces, charge! Is the fucking... Wait, is this even a battle node? I don't think it is. Oh shit. This is sick! Wait, they hit back?
우리를 가로막는 저 시련을 해치우고 끝나지
What the fuck?
모험을 향하여.
물러서지 않겠습니다.
What? There's wheels?
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨 있지.
I'm gonna be very upset if any of my sinners. Faust is losing to a fucking training dummy!
상황이 닥쳐. 포기하지 마세요. 저 생각은 우리의 투지를
Can we not, gang?
기회를 잡았네. 즐겁게 저들을 꺾어 넘긴다면 저들의 승리가 떨어질 것이 뻔하지. 돌격하자.
What are we doing?
그렇지 않은 것.
저놈을 추적해. 침착한 결과입니다.
본인이 방금 뭘 본 것인가? 생각에 강한 일격을. 자, 잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지.
Holy shit.
망설임이 없도록
잘했군.
한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 새는 없다.
저기는 땅이 떨어졌네. 이제 우리를 누가 막겠냐?
잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금을 반복한다. 쉴 새는 없다.
흉터의 결과요.
Oh, you're so fucking dead.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야지 않겠는가?
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이
프레스
담겨
특이었어 말이. 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽.
Even more training dummy fights is crazy. Are these?
자, 동료들이여, 자세를 갖추고 저들을 맞이하세. 우리를 가로막는 저 시련을 해치우고 끝나지 않는 모험을 향하여. 즐겁겠군.
I'm losing.
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨 있지. 감동적이지 않을 수 없네. 역사 영웅기에 이런 구절이 있었지. 어디 보자.
벤담 사활을 거둬. 살을 태우는
뭘 본 것인가? 엄청나게 강한 일격을.
대안에도 충분합니다.
저놈을 추적해.
배워냈어요.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가 버스에서
배워냈어요.
해고해야 하지 않겠는가?
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
원더풀한 선택이었어, 나리! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군.
살을 태우는 뼈를 깎다. 육성.
방금 전에 위대한
물러서지
일격을 기록하는
않겠습니다.
중간에 이따가 버스에서 해고해야 하지 않겠는가?
육성.
확실히 달라지는 감각이었네.
살을 태우는
저놈을 추적해. 방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가
아름다운
버스에서 해고해야 하지 않겠는가?
그렇지 않은 것.
살을 태우는
물러서지 않겠습니다.
다들 기운이 넘치는군. 역시 본인이 직접 선별한 이끄는 영웅당 탑 5가 도움이 되었는가?
잘했군. 한 놈도 남지 않을 때까지 지금
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
실수는 없다.
Oh, how refreshing. Oh, I guess morning workouts really do wake you up.
이번 큰일이
You've gotten so used to getting in tussles before we get to the real meat of the mission that mornings feel incomplete without some action. Nevertheless, this was a meaningful warm-up activity. So I've been meaning to ask, Conclu, why did you never consider participating in the family hierarchy war before?
다른 형제자매분들은 아주 오래전부터 기다려왔던 것 같아서
It seems to me that all of your other siblings have been waiting and training all their lives for this event. It's simple, because I never once thought I wanted to be the family hierarch. That tracks.
정말로 다행이지 않니?
Is it not truly most fortunate? Had you been born with the jade, my son? Had you not been born with the jade, my son? You would have had to toil all your life preparing for the family hierarch war like your other siblings do. You needn't waste your strength on those things. To win the favor of the elders in GMU, venerated be their blessings. Simply, witness as much as the world has. It has to offer, jade of our family, my precious son, by you. What's wrong, Yi-song? You seem kind of distraught. It is to do with the plan Miss Faust had explained to us last night. I find the plan rather detestable. Me too. But Honk Lu said he's okay with it, so...
그런데 그거에
Can we even call it a plan if we're being honest here?
행동의 지침과 기대 목표가 있으니
It matches the definition of a plan, given that it illustrates certain instructions to be followed for the purpose of achieving a defined goal.
그리고
And please remember that there are no second chances in the family hierarchy war.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다. 정착지를
Me when I'm free from aging and death.
잃지 않기를.
포크라님 왜 12?
Young Master Baiyu and his 12 companions arriving at the Tubatang. We entered the hall, where the first round was to be held. As always, the servant by the gate announced our arrival with the resounding holler we had grown to expect. An arena or a stadium, I see. We have many eyes on us, executive manager. I looked up to see that the audience seats, which were brimming with people, were divided into stair-like terraces, and on the platform at the opposite end of the hall, 3 shadows of chairs could be seen cast on the obscuring curtain fabric. As for us, we followed the attendant's guidance and stood next to the other participants at the circular area in the center. So are the evaluations happening past those curtains? Dayu? See someone you recognize?
괜찮아요, 단테.
No, it's nothing, Dante. Even if we were to meet again, we don't really have anything to talk about anyway. Maybe we'll have another chance to talk. We'll have another chance later if fate wills it.
시작하나 보네.
Oh hey, I think it's finally getting started. The curtain slid open, and the old woman we saw from yesterday's banquet walked out to the platform. Many scores ago, I ascended the seat of Jiamu with a stroke of fortune. Yet, a lifetime has passed since I assumed this great responsibility. Such as it is, I seek to abdicate and walk the path of mountains and streams as a river does. You've called the Kroger? Oh, is this the moment Kroger's been waiting for? Evaluations still in. Yes. With the seat voided, the responsibility seeks the one with the qualities of the family hierarchy to fill it. Thus here at Daguanyan, a collective upheld by pillars of 4 great houses of Jia, Jue, Wang, and Shi, we once again ask you for the perennial question. Have you brought us aught to prove that the answer indeed exists? Oklu Squid Shame. Dragging my pronunciation? There's nothing wrong with my pronunciation. Who's the woman next to her? Ah, she's my oldest sister, Big Sis Yuan-chun.
큐사에 아주 높은
She married a very important person in Q Corp and spends most of her time there. Looks like she's visiting for the event.
다른 둥지에 머물고 있던 몸이지만 고륙의 청을 나누고 천륜의 지성을 다할 수 있도록 잠시 자리하였으니
I said, is that how that's pronounced right when you showed up and cursed myself? I would never curse myself. Though I have resided long in a foreign nest, I now return fleetingly to share the love with my flesh and blood, to fulfill my duties as observed by the order of filial piety.
최선을 다해 진리를
I return, that the truth shall be observed to the best of my abilities.
누군가는 순조롭고
Some of you may have
누군가는
walked a laid path gentle to your feet. Some of you may have struggled through an unlaid, brutal path of cragged mountains in a thousandfold to find your answers. Yet, regardless of the severity of your suffering, all of you equally have but one opportunity for the first round. Even still, you were all once prospective heirs of the great house. Even your failure shall bring power and prosperity to Daguan Yuan.
이제부터 호명하는 순서대로 나와 불로 불사 장생의 진귀한
Mudmip cursed myself? Cursed himself? I don't know how to... I did not. Nuh-uh. Now, come forth in the order you are summoned, and demonstrate the invaluable answers to the question of 3 freedoms, One from aging, one from death, and one from the brevity of life.
시연이 불가하다면
If the nature of your answer be
내보여야 한다.
indemonstrable, present ironclad proof.
놓치지 말고
Lose not and discard not. Let fresh youth be unending and eternal. After their respective speeches, Jia Yuanchuan and Jia Mu disappeared behind the curtains atop the platform. First candidate! It seems that Honk Lu's father assumed the role of the host for the first round. Ren of the Wong family. Bruh! Wang Ren, the first to be summoned, walked up to the platform. Bruh! Behind him was his faction, who were dragging someone by a rope toward the platform. Hurry up, foolish thing!
누구를 데려가는
What? Who are they dragging up to the stage? Whoever it is, they clearly don't want to be here. To be free from aging and death, huh? The nefarious dawn. I suppose every wing dreams of escaping and rising beyond the body they were born with. Puff. H-Corp's pursuit of immortality probably isn't special in that regard. He hath brought a blood bag! That Zippo SFX. I've been kind of tempted to buy a Zippo lighter so I could just, like, fidget with it. That's when we were finally able to recognize who the candidate dragged up to the stage. The eyes unfocused and red, mouth slick with drool dribbling down the mouth guard, meaningless snarling. That is a mindless blood bag. You never noticed Dawn just standing ominously behind Gregor? That's my goad. How does a blood fiend become an answer to immortality? In layman's eyes, blood fiends may appear to have truly attained freedom from aging. However, as we are now all aware, blood fiends can grow old and weak after a prolonged period of blood deprivation. Thus, it is unlikely to provide the answer they seek. After some struggle, the blood bag was dragged kicking and growling past the curtains atop the platform. So that creature is the fabled blood fiend, then? I doubt that'll do the job. Blood fiends would indeed be quite the esoteric knowledge, but to the judges of this contest, I doubt they're anything more than lukewarm trivia. That Wong kid must have been pretty desperate, huh? He's either lazy as balls or that boy ain't right in the upstairs. It appears that the knowledge of blood fiends is oddly common amongst this ilk. Indeed, blood fiends are present in every nest. 'Tis little surprise that those privy to arcane knowledge are well aware of their existence. After a brief moment that lasted less than a minute, Wang Ren and his faction emerged from behind the curtains and descended from the platform. Wang Ren, candidate of the family hierarchy evaluations, stand upon the podium and await your judgment. Thus they ascended the round podium behind the platform as ordered. Thus announcing Wang Ren's results for round 1 of the family hierarchy evaluations. Elimination. No! Listen, all they need is blood. As long as you supply them with enough blood, they will be eternal and everlasting. Venerable Jiamu, please! Nay, what awaits them is no eternity at all. Verily, I know not the shape of this true immortality the evaluation seeketh to attain yet. The longevity of a blood fiend, shackled by blood and endless suffering, is unlikely to be one. What? But those damn hunters told me they still retain all of their memories! To become a blood fiend is to surrender all the desires and emotions that exist within thy being for a singular hunger for blood, and only blood. Perhaps that is an acceptable condition for those who expect nothing but fathomless torment for the rest of their lives, yet for those with much to lose, with much in life they cling on to, as those present seem to. The fate of a blood fiend is no freedom from aging and death, 'tis but a sanguine shackle to enslave their minds. A member of Bayou's faction has given an excellent reply. No further elaboration is necessary. And you have failed to bring us a high kindred, let alone a blood fiend at all. This creature is but a miserable blood bag. I cannot even well commend your efforts. Here, Ren of the Wong family, they have spoken and mercifully given you the full explanation of your mistake, a privilege that failed candidates do not deserve. Let this be the final blessing of your life. The fuck? He dies? The podium suddenly opens under their feet, casting Wang Ren and the blood bag to its depths with a blood-curdling screech. That's what happens when you fail to pass. That was just for dramatic effect, right? Like, there's gotta be, like, a slide path leading back upstairs, right? Of course not. Can you smell the stench of festering pain rising like heat from the depths? Ahaha, Ryoshu, you've been honing your sense of humor, huh? Those are some pretty nasty jokes, though. Where does that hole lead? Judging by the time between the drop and the sound of the fall, I presume it goes quite far down. Probably leads to a place with lots of old family secrets. Oh, not treasures, of course, but trying to figure that out might get you a visit from the high show, probably. They went all out with the theatrics, huh? Yeah, and we could very well be the ones screaming and falling down the hole later. The next candidate was summoned before we were even able to shake off the initial shock. Second candidate hails from the Juye family. We sat through a few more names and subsequent failures. We couldn't hear exactly what they were talking about beyond the curtains, and unlike the very loud and obvious blood bag, the answers other candidates brought were less obvious, so... all we had to go on were the shadows of their desperate attempts to explain things before the judges. Another one. B-A-H. It means boring as hell. The longer we watched the death toll rise, the less shocking they became. Are they planning to fail everyone? 8th candidate, Bao Chai of the Juye family. Oh my, look, we know her. Oh, she's so dead. She was technically our competition, but it seems she managed to give the sinners quite the positive impression with yesterday's brief encounter. Some of them were even cheering her on. We couldn't see exactly what it was that Juye Bao Chai brought, but she was also holding something as she entered past the curtains. Bao Chai of the Juye family. After her brief meeting with the judges, which going by the shadows cast on the curtains appeared to have gone better than we had expected, she emerged. And as soon as she did, Bao Chai immediately turned in our direction at Hong Lu, to be exact. Wow, Bayu, you were watching me? And began excitedly waving her hand. She passes. The podium beneath her remained shut. Passing connection it may have been, yet I ill wish to see a familiar face be claimed by the abyss. Thus, I am glad. 17th candidate, Jia Zichun of the Jia family. It's Zichun's turn. She held in her hands a tightly sealed gourd bottle. Looks like she found it. She found the water from the river we saw in Don Quixote's memories back then? Impossible. She reached Leth? The possibility that she actually reached there in person is infinitely minuscule. There's an infinitesimal statistical possibility that she could have reached the river, yet not even Faust can conceive of how someone of their capabilities could reach the fountainhead of one of the deepest fathoms. This becomes even more impossible when considering the relatively short passage of time since then and now. More likely explanation might be that she obtained the waters by collecting its dew, or a portion of what has seeped out. Alas, that river's water serveth only to put the slumber one's memories prey. Doth it truly hold a link to the immortality they seek? Yes, it is likely closely connected to the immortality of the mind they pursue. As there are but an extremely small number of people privy to the knowledge of the rivers, if the contents of that bottle are genuine, Faust expects her to pass. Zichun of the Jia family passes. You have been brought before us. You have brought before us a priceless treasure. It must have taken unparalleled efforts to obtain this, given the meager size of your clan. Thank you, big sister Yan Chun. As Faust expected, all three judges appeared quite satisfied by what Jia Zichun brought before them. Why the fuck does that say N Corp? What? Next, 18th candidate. Bloody hell, just how many people are there in this household? One of the Jia family. Nefarious. Maybe it says H Corp in a funny... That's true, maybe. Bruh. Why does he look like that? He looks like fucking, not my form empties. What's the, Contempt Awe? Why does bro look like Contempt Awe? Our first meeting with that man was less than amicable, and I had a strong feeling that another one wasn't going to do anything to improve that. Jia Huan walked up to the platform. Because it's the Contempt Awe ego? Oh, that makes sense. We all fell silent hearing a familiar name. Bastard! I could feel some sinners were growing tense, some of them even gritting their teeth. And the other man, closely following Jia Huan, holding what looked like the egg of an abnormality, was also a familiar face. I'd seen him many times with Yi Song's memories.
단테, 저 사람들이 입고 온 거 보여요?
Gudo? Godo? That's not his name, right? Godo? Isn't it Gubo? I don't know. Aura something something. Aura. Dante, are you seeing what they're wearing? Ego gears. It can be speculated they've either developed their own method of extraction or have scavenged them from LobCorp. Gubo carries what appears to be an egg of an abnormality. Are they planning on to just offer them an abnormality egg? How's that an answer to anything? While there is room for interpretation, some may present a reasonably argued interpretation that abnormalities are entities that neighbor immortality. So the linchpin of their success hinges on which abnormality's egg that ends up being.
하지만 제가 아는 가완 형이라면 실패할 거라고 생각되는 것엔 절대 목숨을
If it's Big Brother Jia Huan I know, he's never going to risk his life for something he thinks will fail. Juan of the Jia family passes the first evaluation. Contrary to most of our wishes, Jia Huan manages to pass the first round as well. Many more candidates came and went. One of them carried a massive, mysterious coffin. One of them brought a thick book. One of them was presented a cage so tiny we couldn't see what was within. Some of them managed to pass, while some of them were sent screaming into the mysterious abyss. Yeah, that looks like Fell Bullet. As we waited and watched the candidates come and go, people from N-Corp, their turn complete, approached us. Yet early it is for Twilight to arrive, thus early too is this meeting of ours. As if to prove his own words back at the LCE that he's come to accept certain things as they are, Yi Song coolly regarded his old friend, who is now working for N-Corp. You must find this small and barren respite of yours quite enjoyable. I have not seen you jest as you do now since the league fell. For what do you now approach me? The rift is too great betwixt us to chatter on with any affection to speak of. Do not mistake my intent, for it wasn't I who desired to approach you. My teammate simply wished to have a look at his brother's face, and I thought I might as well see how you were faring. Looks like everyone's coming back to Dongwon now that the family hierarchs war started, brother. This is our first meeting since then, right? Ha! If it isn't the doltish fool who has eyes but knows not how to see. I know you well enough. You normally turn purple with aversion upon hearing even a brief mention of the word hierarch. So, why are you here? Who are you and your stinking entourage working for this time? Is that Jue girl blinded by your looks to the revolting rot within? Or is it Zichun who still defends you and your meaningless foul profound spiel, deluded in her belief that you are still the same boy from her childhood? Why didn't you save him? No, let me ask you a different question. Why did you save her, and only her, Jia Baiyu? Brother, humans die. It's what they're born to do. What the fuck? The next candidate will be judged soon. Candidates must return to their seats. You're a servant, barely even a living thing. Let us return. This discourse will not bear any fruit. What's this, a reunion party? Tisk, that sure soured things, those shameless bastards. It's obvious they're here to nick our things again. What? Maybe, but something about them feels different today. Whichever is the case, the safer option would be to place higher than them. Another one falls. His family has to be watching this, right? I wonder if they'll be okay. Sinclair mutters, watching another candidate fall down the trapdoor. I can't imagine how anyone would be okay watching their own fall like... Sinclair, the people sitting behind us. They're his parents, the guy who just fell.
저런 걸 자식이라고 끼고 살았다니. 한심하군.
Not shitty, just out of place. I think it kind of fits. The contempt kind of fits. Fell Bullet is a bit much, but Fell Bullet Ego Gear looks pretty good too. He raised that failure as our own son? What a pathetic disappointment. Don't worry, I have faith in our third child. I mean, it's not like we expected anything from this one, right?
가주가 되기만을 위해 살아왔다는 건 이런 것까지 포함하는 이야기였네요.
Now I see what it means to dedicate your whole life to becoming the family hierarch.
분들이 가주가 되는 걸 간절히 바란답니다. 물론
Many people desperately vie for the seat of family hierarch, of course. Some of them, like his parents, hope to.
자신과 친하거나 피로 이어진 누군가 가주가 되는 걸
Have their friend or close blood relative become the family hierarch instead.
비교적 가주가 되지 않더라도
So they seek to seize a lifetime's worth of riches, power, and recognition by planting someone they can control in the family hierarch seat, without becoming one themselves.
그렇게 만든 건 유통기한이 짧지.
That kind's got a low shelf life.
뜻하지 않은 기회
Looks like I finally got to know how my long-lost siblings are doing, thanks to this unforeseen opportunity. 27th candidate, Pan of the Jue family. Jue Pan? Have we heard that name before?
보차 누나의 오라버니 되시는 분이에요.
Ah, he's Big Sis Baochai's brother. Older brother. Is he doing okay? Jue Pan walked up to the platform holding what appeared to be a large jar with multiple talismans plastered over it. Hey, is it just me or does that guy look like he's totally up to something? Let's be honest, who here doesn't?
근데 나도 느꼈어.
Yeah, but that sod's different. Instead of ascending to the platform and into the curtains, he walked up to the podium. Mate, looks to me he's completely lost the plot. Candidate Jue Pan, you will ascend to the platform and enter the curtains threshold. Where's the fun in walking down the straightforward road? It's only right something so precious and entertaining should be shared with everyone, wouldn't you agree? Huh?
주술 따위로 장난이
Pathetic sorceress trickery. He seems nice. Why is he? What the heck is that? Corpses, their desiccated flesh covered in a light, sparse layer of old papers, crawled out of the jar and began to shamble. There are neither distortions nor abnormalities. Their behavior reminds me of blood bags or sub-entities enslaved by abnormalities. Any semblance of consciousness has been stripped from them. They'll attack indiscriminately.
살이를 지속적으로 내보이는 것으로 보아 틀림없이 눈앞에
But it
있는
seems that they're just as intent on maiming and killing whoever they can get their claws on. Executive Manager, we must prepare for battle. Your orders. Ah! The jar monsters set upon the audience, stuffing the struggling, still breathing victims into their jars. Why aren't the organizers doing anything? This is still an event hosted by a wing, isn't it? Because there isn't a rule in the family hierarchy that prohibits bringing harm to other people. They're just gonna sit back and twiddle their thumbs because no one specifically told them to step in? Ah, what the hell? What do we do now? Should we step in?
살아남은 다음에 가주 대전에 무사히
We should probably survive and ensure our safe participation in the family hierarchy war. What the hell are these? Get away from me! As the monsters began to swarm in, some candidates scattered and ran away, while some stood their ground and fought back. Those who did neither were the ones getting slaughtered. I was simultaneously reminded of Sod and the confident smile she flashed at me, as she reassured us that we should be able to pass the first round with little to no trouble. Looks like we have no choice but to take them down.
어떤 상황이 닥쳐도 포기할 오해하지
Yo,
마라.
this Encore
저
fight goes crazy.
우리의 투지를 꿰뚫을 수 없을
Oh, their
테니.
Pierce weak? How many fucking coins is that? 4? Holy moly.
날 이해하는 순간이지. 감동적이지 않을 수 없네. 해결사 영웅기에 이런 무전이 있었지. 어디 보자.
They really have fucking poison?
그의 말솜씨는 없지만 그대들의 수심을 최대한 위로해보겠네. 왜 인상을 뒤집히는 건가?
육적 칼을 베어내고
저놈을 추적해.
기회를 잡았네.
망설임이
기총이는
없도록.
사자를 꺾어 넘긴다면 전투사기가 떨어질 것이 뻔하지. 저기는 땅에 떨어졌네. 이제 우리를
이
누가
작살
막아낼까?
필살의 집념이 담겨 있지.
본인이 방금 뭘 본 것인가? 엄청나게 강한 공격을.
Wait, did he just fucking explode? What?
발에 팩이라도 먹고. 아니지. 저들이 기세등등하니 잠시 경계하세.
The fuck?
즐겁겠군.
흉터의 결과야.
저놈을 추적해.
깎는다.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는
망설임이
중간에
없도록.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
아름다운 것.
원더풀 선택이었어 나리! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군.
부드러지게.
육청
배워냈어요.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가? 확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
Combat tips. Every skill consists of at least 1 coin. Wowee.
잔뜩 휘둘러버렸네.
Yo, Donna on top?
상쾌하고 개운한 기분이면 그 고리타분한 이야기도 웃으면
The
들을 수
thumb.
있겠지.
Fuck it, I'll level up some people.
가스 점화. 엔진 시동.
어떤 상황이 닥쳐도 포기하지 마세나. 저들의 공격은 우리의 투지를 꿰뚫을 수 없을 테니.
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지.
원더풀 선택이었어 나리. 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군. 본인에게는 즐겁겠건 금의 말솜씨는 없지만 그대들의 소원을 최대한 이루어야겠네.
아름다운 것,
왜 인상을
그렇지 않은 것.
감동적이지 않을 수 없네.
육사를
이런
베어내
구정이 있었지. 어렵자.
전열을 지켜라. 내게 관심이 쏠렸으니 너희가 공격할 기회는 더욱 많아진다.
잠시 무너지는 것을 두려워하지 마시래. 중간으로 남는다네.
육청
이건 좀 과했네.
부드럽게.
저기는 땅이 떨어졌네.
망설임이
이제
없도록.
우리를 누가 잡겠는가?
또래는 뵐 수 있겠지.
방금 뭘 보고
저놈을 추적해.
엄청나게 강한 일격을.
아름다운 것, 그렇지 않은 것.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을
망설임이
기록하는
없도록.
중인데 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
살을 베어내 열을 끈
흉터의 결과요.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는
망설임이
중인데
없도록.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가? 나리의 속 깊은 뜻을 본인이 헤아리기엔 쉽지 않은 것 같네.
혈이 낭자오.
The fights were 7 sinners? Yeah, they were.
육청 열을 끈
Did you use 6 throughout the entire canto? Or well, the part 1 of the canto, I guess?
잘했군. 저놈을 추적해.
침착한 결과입니다.
I can't believe you're not using the backup sinner mechanic that our great director Kim Ji-hoon added to the game. What remained inside the hall after the battle was devastating. Many in the audience seats had fled, as the seats that were once brimming with people were only half filled. And the candidate zone down here was littered with bodies of candidates who were mauled to death. Meanwhile, the jar monsters, having eaten their fill, had already crawled back into the jar. I looked around and saw some candidates still holding tightly onto the treasures they each had brought to the contest, even as they drew their last breaths. In midst of all the destruction stood the cause of this chaos, watching the slaughter play out with assured confidence. what he said. How will you attain freedom from aging? How will you argue freedom from death with minds so dull and bodies so frail? What say you, judges? I present before you not only the clue to immortality, but also a treasure that brings ruin to those who would dare to deceive you. Here's my answer to the perennial question. So you have brought us the clay of the jar. It can be said that those who fail to survive this do not qualify as family hire candidates, yes? And of the Joy family passes. He gets to pass when he got almost everyone in here killed. All that matters is that what he has brought meets their standards. Looks like he managed to get 2 birds with 1 stone. He eliminated the distracting rabble from the competition. We ever run into that bastard in round 2, you better let me take more than a few swings at him. 28th candidate, Shi Dajin of the Shi family! Oh. As he has failed to appear, he is eliminated by default. Jia Zheng called a few more names thereafter, but 29th candidate, 30th candidate, the numbers of candidates has clearly been called. None appeared. Disappointingly, MB. Yeah, all the mediocre bunch got wiped out from that attack, and the leftovers are exhausted. Ryoshu looked around as though she was doing some sort of critique. Huh? That lug? Damn! That motherfucker! Well, I thought you'd gone and vanished into the earth. What the hell you doing crawling around out here? Girl, I saw you giving me the evil eye. At least have the decency to say hi, eh? Ryoshu, that guy's talking to you, right? And in a very, very rare display of raw emotion, I realized that she was anxious and furious. Oh, do you know him? What an absolute unit. Bloke's got to be at least 2 meters. What an absolute unit. Fucking bonkers, innit? Do not look at that man, Dante, and everyone, avert your eyes as well. It is strongly recommended that we do not say a word to him. That's right, you shrimps! You gotta first rack them teensy brains of yours. Gotta think real hard about whether you even come close to my rank before running your mouths, you hear? That shithead Lei Hang, he's a finger. The thumb is a syndicate with the strictest adherence to rigid hierarchical structure, even among the fingers. And his placement in the hierarchy is the highest even among their capos. His rank is immediately beneath the position of a Soto Capo, or underboss. A small mistake could drag us into a battle we do not want to fight. Please order everyone to not say a word, Dante. I don't know what's going on, but I get it. You're saying that we're this close to having another Ricardo hunting us down, right? Yeah, let's avoid that. Do as Faust asks, everyone. Lei Hang began stomping his way through the crowd toward us, casually but forcefully shoving anyone in his way to the sides. His gait was fuck! Blase and brutish, but I noticed that his eyes were fixed intently on Ryoshu. It seemed that among the crowd among us, there were some people in higher positions as well, but even they either averted their eyes or voluntarily got out of his way. He marched confidently through the frozen crowd as though he was familiar with this kind of reception. Oh, Ruina? Until a cry rang out from the crowd.
너 지금 어느 안전이라고 남궁현아 도련님의 자리까지 와서 시야를 막는 거냐? 이 자리는 장차 4대 가문이 될 우리
Thumb IDs would go pretty hard. You there, you big brute! How dare you block young Master Nangong Jianhe's view? I'll have you know that you stand before the retinue of the Nangong family, the house that shall soon be one of the 4 houses. Damn, dude! Instead of a reply, we heard a blast of gunpowder, then saw the right arm of the man who spoke out catapult into the air. The scream muffled as Lei Hang forcibly shoved his giant hand down the... Dude, gross, ew. Then, with the sound of wet meat being pulled apart, he ripped the entire length of the man's tongue out through the mouth. Young Master Nangong Jianhei, ain't ya? You owe me an arm now. Mighty sorry, but you should have kept a tighter leash on ya boy's jawin'. The young master of some prestigious house presented his right hand. Though it was clear that he was utterly terrified, Li Hang proceeded to grab his hand and break it off his forearm like snapping a twig. Going easy on ya, boy. Seeing a friendly face put me in a good mood. Anywho, I don't reckon you missed the spider's house, eh? Can't imagine why anybody would. Gives me the heebie-jeebies too, whenever I gotta swing by. You got some catching up to do later. I'll teach you how to hold your sword real good, right like back when. Weren't mine the best out of them all? I thought I taught you how to make every cut real fucking delicious. Ryoshu, now is not the time. Faust whispered to Ryoshu in a low voice without raising her head. Shut up for a damn second! Faust trusts that you still remember the promise you made prior to your employment. Get that stick out of ya behind, kiddo. I ain't here to pick you up. I sure as hell ain't trying to teach you a lesson either like back when. Your baby's still at that house, ain't that right? Ryoshu was grabbing the hilt of her sword like she was about to unsheath it. The same sword she refused to unsheath for the duration of our entire journey. Huh? Am I wrong about that? Just what in tarnation happened then? I ain't exactly no deep in them fellas' business. You gotta understand, it's something sure as hell went down though, didn't it? Yeah, now ain't that something? So you're really fixing to unsheath that blade? Miss Ryoshu. In a quiet voice, but coldly stern voice, Faust calls Ryoshu's name. Ryoshu vibrating. Yo, that goes hard as fuck. Whoa! Damn! Aw, dang it, what in the gosh dang? My bad, y'all. I really gotta take this. It's Thunderboss calling. Y'all gotta understand. Alrighty then. I'll meet you later. We can talk about your daddies or shoot some other shit then. See you around, Yoshihide! The strange man then turns around and stomps his way through the crowd again, his booming voice reverberating across the entire hall as he loudly and boisterously answers the call. He's gotta be here for the family hierarch war, right? The outcome of the family hierarch evaluations determines the immediately foreseeable future of H-Corp, which brings parties of varying, possibly clashing interests here. This is my real accent, and I'm Native Texan is crazy. Shitty ass flip phone, Nokia Arabic ringtone be like. Hey Heathclipu, notice you didn't rush ahead this time. I was worried it was going to be like the time with the middle. I know a thing or two about the thumb back from my syndicate days, about what happened with the middle. Like I said, I had no bloody idea who those things belonged to, besides that sod. Is more powerful and violent than Ricardo, an individual we had encountered in the past. The thumb commands its own manner of terror and violence, unlike that of the middle. Are we strong enough to get him as an ID? Maybe like one of his subordinates? I wouldn't be surprised if we got... I don't know. I wanna get an index ID. As we were all sharing our impressions of Li Hang, I found Ryoshu frozen in place in the same position she had been when Li Hang walked past her, spacing out. All the way to the pinky, huh? Ryoshu muttered something to herself, as even further chaos was about to overtake the crowd and the candidates. 32nd candidate, Jia Chu. Jia Zhang called upon the next candidate, and at the mere mention of the name, the chaos that had swallowed the hall immediately settled into a hushed silence. It's him. Jia Chu walked up to the platform, unaccompanied by his own faction, but not alone. Who are those people next to Jia Chu? I've never met him before. Oh, then that must be the... That must mean that they're big brother Jia Chu. What? Oh, they're his answers. Then what could they possibly be? Neither of them appear to be particularly skilled in combat. Yeah, they're both constantly looking around like they're nervous. They are... Us believes that they are surviving. Oh! Wait, hold on. What did they look like? They're the only survivors who may be able to explain that very force, possibly. Jia Chu didn't spend much time behind the curtains. He walked out soon after, his steely expression unchanged from when he entered it. The testimony rings true. They are both survivors of the place that soared beyond a star of the city before it vanished. It is a shame that we are unable to procure ourselves an invitation then. He passes. Wait, what do they look like? It was Alan and Hanafuda? I don't know who Hanafuda is. Hold on. Hanafuda. Una. Oh, it is her! Oh, this is fandom. Hold on. You. There we go. Oh yeah, that's totally her. Who is this? Is this a general reception? What the fuck? How do I read this shit? Combat pages. Literally, who the fuck is this? Urban Plague discard? Oh, both are Gen? Yeah, but Alan is Alan, though. That covers all the candidates. Huh? Hello? What about us? Hello? Excuse me! Unlike Jia Chu, whose appearance plunged the hall into utter stillness, Hawk Lu's sudden interjection roused the room to a roaring chaos of confusion once again. Value, what? I think you might have missed a candidate. What do you mean? I believe we have covered every candidate present in the list. You missed me. Ji Bayu of the Jia family will partake in the family hierarchy evaluations.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다. 정착지를 찾을 때까지.
Alan is him.
기세를 잃지 않는.
Hanafuda is extremely underwhelming discard support, even if you get it as soon as possible. That tracks. Isn't that Jia Bayu? He just said his fucking name, didn't he? What's that doing here? And what did he just say? I had a feeling this was gonna happen, but you really kicked the hornet's nest, huh? Hark, one and all, and gaze upon our glory. In the 11th hour doth the final band of heroes arrives. Yi saying, don't pretend you're not with us, huh? At least give the audience a wave. Guys, I don't think they're taking the announcement too well. A large portion of the audience is vociferously expressing their collective confusion, wrath, and concern. These emotions are expressed by their jaws that have been opened past a certain degree. Oh. Fucking Merceau. As Merceau observed, I realized that the chaos wasn't restricted to the audiences. The candidates were starting to get agitated too. And there he is, the disgusting, duplicitous bastard who brings annihilation to everyone around him with that silly, innocent smile. Oh, what's going on? I thought Bayu wasn't participating in the hierarchy war. That dumbass. SYNC. Explain yourself now. Miss Saw told me to grab onto your sword like my life depended on it if you said that exact phrase. Blimey, can't we just... She mentioned you too, Heathcliff. She told me that if you ever said anything, can't we just give him a good beating and be done with it? Haha, what a throwback. Decorum. I demand decorum. I hope you do not mean to risk having your body marred. Withdraw your name. It isn't too late. Now. Hold on.
가볼게요.
I'm heading in, father. 33rd candidate Bayou of the Geo family. Come forth. Ready, Dante? I don't know. And what about you, Ryoshu? Puff, I'm itching to get chopping. Need to vent this shitty feeling. Are you sure they're going to be okay, Faust? This is something that must be done regardless of the soundness of its participants. I still quite detest this plan. Let's be honest for a sec, are any of us actually happy to go through with this? Okay, I guess there's one. Honk Lu, Ryoshu, and I walked up to the platform. Up close, it was much larger, grander, and more imposing than I thought it'd be. Enter the fabric threshold. Once we walked past the curtains as instructed, we saw Jia Yuanshan, Jia Mu, and Jia Zhang waiting for us inside. I know not what in your life beyond the hedges could have wrought this change of heart, but to see you aspire to the seat of the hierarch is indeed a sight most curious. It's been a while, big sister.
회사에서의 생활은 무사 평안하셨나요?
Has the life in Q Corp been treating you well? I have seen and learned much, as you must have, Bayou. Now, oh fuck my life.
세간에 밝히지 않는 편이 좋을 것 같아서.
Now I see your true reason for returning home today. I'm sorry, grandmother. I thought better than to let this be common knowledge. So you did. Now that you have revealed your intent, withdrawal is no longer an option. Very well. Now present the answer that you have brought here today.
정말 많은 분들이 이 자리에 서서 각자가 찾아.
I'm sure you've already sat through many people standing in the same place I am now, explaining to you what it is they had brought. So I suppose you would much prefer that I give you a straightforward visual demonstration than make you sit through another 1,000-word lecture. Honk Lu gave Ryoshu a nod. Yes, I'm okay. Our answer that we may be able to demonstrate before them is resurrection via Dante's power, to show them that to us, death is but a temporary setback. And a most dramatic demonstration of that ability would be to... Swing! Oh, vertically! Fucking Ryoshu. Indeed, you have certainly demonstrated something. You were truly the least dreary part of today, Bayou. Ah, I see, so the most effective way to do it would be for me to get killed in front of them. Without any room for ambiguity at that. Yes, then that means one of us has to, make sure Honk Lu no longer lives? Oi, no need to beat around the bush. Remember what we did to each other when we first met? HV, vertical split. 07. Heathclipu, is the implication that you are willing to murder Honk Lu without hesitation? Murder, mate, did you really have to put it like that? Barely, I do not wish to hurt my good companions more than I already have. It may be a stretch to say that it is fortunate, however. We seem to have an individual among us who may be able to carry out the task in a most painless, swift, and unburdened manner. And everyone immediately turned to look at... Oh, so how would you like to be cut? Puff, where's that fucker Lee Hang? Who's he been working with? Seeing that slicing Honk Lu in half did nothing to distract Ryoshu from her own thoughts. Jia Mu watched us in silence, motionless in her seat. You have split his brain in half. You have irreversibly ended this child's life. Not even life insurance should be able to bring him back now. Bayou! Now, well then, what will you do now? You have no means to restore this jade of the family. For your transgressions, you will... block, spin it. And so it turned in one of the most high-intensity situations I had ever turned it. The muscle fibers, the nerves, the flesh that was split all began to reconnect like a rewinding videotape. Well, wait, why doesn't this hurt at all? Ryoshu's skill with the sword was no joke. I didn't even feel the slightest bit of discomfort. I doubt Honk Lu even realized that he was dying. Baiyu, I truly realize that it has been a while since we've met. He has grown quite old. I smell beasts. Dark shadows had appeared outside the curtains surrounding us before I even realized what was happening. Bull, rooster, dragon, monkey, the high show are here. The task was to find the answer to freedom from aging and death, not to break a taboo and precipitate the destruction of our home. Damn. It has not been long since the family that once led H-Corp was brought to ruin. No arbiter nor claw shall ravage the family of Hong Yuan again. Jia Yanchun appeared ready to command the high show to kill us all, but Jia Mu silenced her with a wave of the hand. You will wait. Venerable Jia Mu. Once the resurrection is complete, the head will... We must end this before they... Hold for one moment. To be rash in judgment is to judge incompletely. I wish not to lose either our treasure and a clue to immortality. And Hong Lu was whole again. Ah, thank you, Ryoshi. It really didn't hurt at all. And you too, Dante. NP. Grandmother, big sister Yuan-chun. Did you see that? This is the immortality I found. Are we safe? If aught be owned, a swift vengeance shall arrive in time. It is simply yet to return. Yuumu's quiet utterance seemed to dissipate the forces that had surrounded us outside the curtains. Jia Baiyu, in the first round of the family hierarchy evaluations, you pass. Baiyu of the Jia family passes. What trickery is this? I thought he was off on some sightseeing tour away from Hong Yuan like a jobless rich kid, when he even managed to find his own answer. Thus ends the first round. Those who pass must prepare for the second round, set to commence tomorrow. Remember, the candidates are barred from harming one another between now and the commencement of the second round of the evaluations. This is your one and only rule, thus remember it well. Anyone who dare break it shall immediately be disqualified. That is all. As soon as Jia Zhang announced the end of the first round, everyone in the audience seats began rushing toward the first door. Getting mixed up with that crowd's probably not a great idea. Let's get out of here. Indeed, let us immediately return to Honk Lu's room. And we decided to slip out of here before the curious crowd swept! However, as we turn around to leave, stood Jia Chu in our path. Oh, big brother, Chu. Congratulations on passing the first round. I hear that you have passed as well, young master. Congratulations are in order, it seems. How is it that you, young master, who has not shown an inkling of ambition towards the seat of Hierarch, suddenly emerged as one of its candidates, positively stealing the show? Well, you know, sometimes people get swept by random surges of emotion. Wasn't that surge of ambition your company's and not young Master Baiyu's? Well, if our last meeting didn't confirm it, it sure seems like they know us well. Have we not impressed upon you enough that you were to nicely remain within the borders? Instead, he sparks such disorder at the fringes of his perimeter. I had thought that his only role in this design would be to be played as a pawn by Jia Zichun no more. My lord, perhaps you overestimated this young master. Are you still of the belief that inaction is a path without consequences? I didn't even get to say hello to your earlier brother Chu. Baiyu of the Jia family formally extends his greetings to you. I realize that this is the first time we're meeting face to face since I reached adulthood. Speaking of which, did you manage to stitch Big Brother Yihua and Mr. King Qing Tao's heads back onto their bodies? Heathcliff was the first to let out a flabbergasted gasp before the other sinners followed suit. I guess that's just how siblings of the Hong Yuan family greet each other, huh? Seems like Miss Bao-Chi... Fuck my life! Bao Chai was just a particularly nice exception. You ask a question that deserves no answer. You have arrived here unprepared, yet ready to cast yourself into the flames, all for the mere reason that your turn had come. If your mind hasn't changed, then it would have been wise to remain unseen and unnoticed as you were. Yes, thank you for your concern. This facade of wisdom and pensiveness worn upon your speech is truly intractable? What the fuck? Do I do that? Noticing Jiachu's hands tighten around his weapon, Ishmael quickly joined in. Oh, in case you forgot, there's a rule preventing candidates who pass the first round from killing each other. Hopefully I'm not the only one who remembers that. If you're going to continue to bully us, don't be surprised if there are consequences. Otis, you finished the preparations, right? The reinforcements are standing by at the front gates. Oh, what reinforcement? Which is why I'm warning you that taking any rash action prior to the start of the second round could result in a pointless skirmish for the both of us. A loud boast from an illusory army in an empty fortress, though I believe that sheer might is hardly the quality one should flaunt. I'm not intent on fighting you here. Jiabayu, you will beget great suffering by endeavoring to embrace beyond your abilities. Yet, if he still wishes to challenge and be broken, then perhaps that outcome is simply meant to be. And with that, they turned around and left us. It seemed that they were here only to give us a warning. What a relief! I thought we'd have to fight Jiachu and his Aisho pack. What did the underscores mean there, Silver? Heathcliff is a dumbass, but it's hilarious. They did see right through us in the end, but hey, nice teamwork, Otis. What an unbelievable impudence. Did you notice how they did not even glance at the rest of us through that entire exchange? You don't know? Joy Baochai peeked out from a pillar before walking up to Honglu. You passed the first round. I'm so happy that you didn't die, Bayu. Seriously, what's going on here? I didn't even imagine in my wildest dreams that you'd be participating in the family hierarchy war. Congrats to you, big sister Baochai, for passing the first round. Gathering from the fact that you hid it even from me, you really didn't want anyone to know, right? Yeah, I imagine that must have kicked up quite the ruckus with everyone. The Jiachu idea will be peak. Project Moon will fumble the ball one day. Now I'm starting to feel kinda bad about this. Somehow we ended up lying to everyone. Hey, don't beat yourself up over it. Own it instead. Well, if it's all the same to you, then I want to say that I'm so happy that you decided to take part. I was worried that you might have already left Dangwon. So far away from me again by the time I was finished with the family hierarchy war, that would have been too bad. Nah. Project Moon would win. So I'm glad that we'll get to spend more time together, even as contestants. Don't forget to say hello and give me a wave if we ever run into each other, okay? Zoe Bai Chai left us to rejoin her faction, waving sweetly as she did so. You have returned, young master. Yep, good evening, Jiren. Jiren bowed wordlessly in that same detached coldness we sensed earlier. She did not seem at all excited about her master's success today, nor did she appear to be concerned about him. A letter has arrived for you, young master Bayu. You didn't even try to hide the fact that the envelope was tampered with, did you? My responsibility was to deliver the letter. To protect its integrity was not one of my obligations. Honglu, are you sure she's your maidservant? It's okay. She's not wrong. Jiren, can I ask you something? Jia Ling promised to play a rock tossing game with me, but I can't find him anywhere. Ah, that's, well, let's see. How many numbers have you learned so far, young master? Jiren and I learned up to 10. Then he'll back after 100 nights sleeps. Sleep 10 nights, 10 times, and that's 100 nights. Whoa, that's so cool, Jiren, you're so smart! Aw, it's nothing. It's something we all learned growing up. Jiren, I slept 10 times, 10 nights, but I still don't know where Jia Ling's gone. Did I say that young master Jieling was to return? You said he'll be back after 100 nights. Oh, 100 nights is hardly enough, young master. It will take at least 1,000, given what they did to him. I see. You're so smart as always, Jiren. Young master, it's been years, but young master Jieling's body is still decaying. He has lost control over half his body. Even after he was fed the boluses I had sent him? I was told to relay that your boluses were useless, young master. The decay reached his brain. I overheard the other servants gossip that it is impossible to recover from such a wound. The body is functionally dead. Death would be preferable, in fact. So give up your naive hope and forget about him. You're always so smart, Jiren. I will now read the letter, Executive Manager. Alright, yeah. As I stood there pondering, Otis walked up to the front with the letter in hand. This is from Manager Sod. Hello everyone, I heard that you managed to pass the first round. I wrote this letter before I heard the news, actually. You wouldn't even be reading this letter if you hadn't passed. The heck? Well, let's save the celebrations for later. The real game starts in round 2. The other candidates must have been making alliances, strategies, sharing information about the next round. Meanwhile, you guys stumbled around aimless and alone before returning to your lodging, and here you are now, reading my letter. Is she watching us from somewhere? But not to worry, for your team specifically, round 2 doesn't require much strategizing. Because it'll be a messy and continuous battle after battle. So battle on, as you always do. It's what you do best, right? Hold on. I would like to go into more detail in this letter, but I'm sure this letter will be, and has been, most likely intercepted by someone from other candidates, clans, or coalitions. So in order for you to obtain our objective, you have to rely on what you have learned and gained so far, your intuition and fearlessness. Like I said earlier, we have but one purpose. Contextual clues suggest that the one purpose is implied to be come in second place and obtain the golden bow. Well, that wraps everything up. There's one last thing. Whoa! Like fork knife? Shameless curs who have rested their eyes upon the contents of this letter without authorization shall be struck down with the curse of misfortune that lasts generations upon generations, ne'er shall they be successful in any endeavor, regardless of nature. The bottom part of the letter's been torn off, huh? What a way to end a letter. So does anybody know what to expect in round 2? The letter didn't really help with anything at all. It would be better to learn the exact rules on site and hear from the organizers themselves. It is likely that there are forces who already have their eyes and ears on us. Executive Manager, there's someone by the door. Right on cue, eh? I don't think that's what this is. Damn it, you grab your weapons, prepare for bat. Despite our rush, the person by the door was none other than Jia Zichun. She wore an expression that we had grown quite familiar with by now, an interesting combination of annoyance and disappointment. Why do I ever expect anything better from you anymore? So you're just opening your front door to anyone without even checking who knocked, just like that? I thought you were done talking with... Yeah, we can be pretty headless from time to time. But I don't think anyone who's intending to kill us would have the decency to stand and hesitate in front of my door wondering if she should knock or not. Earlier in round 1, you had yourself killed in front of Jia Mu and her big sister Yuan Chun, didn't you? And revived yourself in front of them too, I presume. Right? Why even go that far, huh? What's gotten into you, brother? Family hierarch, really? Why now? Why all of a sudden? I can tell just from that look on your face that you wouldn't care less about becoming something like the family hierarch. Is that really it? That they told you to do it? Zichun, imagine, just for the sake of it, what if our actual goal isn't to become in first place? Because the boss said he has to. Do you seriously expect me to believe that? A little bit. Haha, right? Totally. Heck, I wouldn't buy that either. I'm not here to ally or parlay with you. I am never, ever doing anything like that with you again, brother. It'll be nighttime soon, you know. And your room's always been so dark because you barely let so much as a ray of moonlight in.
초대받지 않은 객들이 급습할 거다. 라는 뜻인가?
Seems like she's warning us that we'll be visited by some uninvited guests soon. Yeah, no way they're letting you, a sudden unforeseen variable, spend the night in peace. But didn't they warn us earlier that round 2 candidates are prohibited from hurting each other? I see, the only thing that matters is the exact wording of the law, not the spirit of it. Right, they won't intervene as long as the candidate's not trying to kill a fellow candidate, literally with their own hands. So don't trust anyone, even your maidservants.
직접 여기로 와줘서 고마워. 시춘.
Thanks for coming here in person, Zichun. Tomorrow we'll really be enemies. I know it's too late to change anything, but tomorrow I won't hold back. Jia Zichun stumbled over her words, trailed off, then turned around and left as though she swallowed what she wanted to say. When she expressed a wish to visit you herself, I made 3 attempts to talk her out of it. It was highly impertinent of someone of my station to advise against her 3 times, yes, but I implore you all to know that her choice to come here was not an easy one. I know this question can sound a bit nosy, but are things okay over there? We will face the trial to the best of our abilities. I wish with all my heart that our paths will not cross tomorrow. And I share his sentiment. I wish not to ever bring harm to them, nor they to us in turn. Well, when's anything ever gone as well as we wished, eh? But Heathcliff sounded just as uneasy. Oh boy, I wonder what happens while they... Ew! I need to deploy Honglu! Ew!
의뢰가 들어왔나요?
Oh, I have to deploy all 12? Boo!
이제 좀 일다운 걸 시키나?
The fuck is this shit? It's like 1984.
놈 뜻에 따라 준비 완료.
열쇠가 필요하신가요? 열쇠가
수금할 시간이야.
지금가해?
What do you mean? Honglu's right there!
열쇠가 필요하신가요?
고래를
주인 놈
수금할 시...
지금가해?
Oh, I don't need backup? Oh, true! Oh, moon, once it waxes, it wanes. Oh, water, once it fills, it overflows. For all lights must go out, the night is still. It's time! Sharpen your senses. Hey, what are some known infiltration routes in the building that our enemies could use? The windows. Anywhere, really, as long as the assassin's willing to put their mind to it. There's this one time when one of them suddenly appeared from under my bed. That sounds kinda terrifying. Up. Ceiling, someone just landed above us. Ah, so if they're hiding in the ceiling, there must be more waiting for us just out the door. Onclu spoke casually as though he was expecting to have them join us for tea or something. Impressive, you're pretty sharp. The sinners all whipped around and swung their weapons toward the voice, but... Bruh. Wait, this smells like... That sod drinking on the job? Give me a break, I'm an old guy on a night shift. I say I deserve a drink. Our target's young Master Gia Bayou. Let's kill him quick and call it a night. With that, the enemies began flooding into the room. Why didn't I bring full stop Honk Lu considering I'm running full poise? I didn't think that far. Damn, you fucking suck, man! Ugh. How does this ID even work? Oh, fuck no. Can we not lose clashes? He has 30 SP! 30 from one clash! That's not fair.
망설임이 없도록 직접 열어드리죠. 넣어냈어요.
흐드러지게. 방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는
벤다,
중간에
사월을
이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
육차를 베어내고
비껴 베어버렸군.
이번에는 뵐 수 있겠죠?
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가? 즐겁겠군. 아하, 비껴 베어버렸군. 방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중간에 이따가
Wait,
버스에서
what?
회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
Oh, fuck, I didn't think that through. Eh, whatever.
어두운 무지를 열어줬지요.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것. 흐드러지게.
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
직접
방금 전에 위대한 일격을
망설임이
기록하는
없도록
중간에 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네. 확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다. 정착지를 찾을 때까지 이 기세를 잃지 않기를.
진리를 열기 위해
There is no oof. I have plenty of lunacy.
자세를 갖추고 저들을 맞이하세. 우리를
I ain't no
가로막는 저
brokey.
시련을 해치우고
벤담
끝나지 않는
4월을
보험을 향하여.
직접 열어드리죠.
원더풀한 선택이었어. 나는.
Well, I can't just swip.
장점이 뻔히
Swip?
보이는 게로군.
I can't just switch to full stop after I invest level tickets into Diechi Honklu.
우리를 갖고 무엇이야? 엄청나게 강한 일격을. 방금 전에 위대한 일격을
벤담
기록하는 중이라네.
4월을
이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
Damn, what the fuck?
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중이라네. 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
망설임이 없도록. 혈이 남자오.
I definitely could. Nuh-uh. I did get wave slash though, that is true.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중이라네. 이따가 버스에서
벤담
회고해야 하지
4월을
않겠는가?
건
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
혈이 남자오.
비교 배워보려면 확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
흉터의 결과.
끝낸다. 육참
다음 거래는 될 수 있겠죠?
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중이라네. 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
흐드러지게.
대안에게 충분합니다.
흐드러지게.
칼을 베어내고
배워냈어요.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는
망설임이
중이라네.
없도록.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가? 확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
칼을 베어내고
아름다운 것. 피어나.
승부수가 먹혀들어
How I'll deal with the drunkard? Oh fuck, there's a boss fight. The drunk guy is the boss fight? That's crazy. Wait, I didn't use X... Who the fuck did I use XP tickets on? What?
대안하겠습니다.
그대, 이 검이 필요하오.
Oh, it's him. Glug glug. Woo wee! Wow, still working on it.
사이와라는
Seems that we are continually underestimated by our foes. Shi Yuhua made the same mistake. You didn't seriously think that we would be defeated by such pathetic force, did you? You ran a very similar team. You were running Tremor until you realized it was a miserable it was miserable, then you ran Burn. Am I the one that was rather disappointed with this boss fight? I don't know yet. I haven't played it, but it's only part 1. And don't you compare us to that little troublemaker of the Shi family, will you? Be careful, Otis. His combat capabilities are leagues beyond those of his companions. So that's why he's so sure of himself, I see. Identify your name and allegiance. Really? You think I'd just tell you that if you asked nicely, working in this line of business? Heh. I have no name nor allegiance to give you, friend. Though I have no name to give, I have a title that others took the liberty of giving me. You tend to pick up 1 or 2 of those after surviving for so long. He who emerges with a liquor bottle only to fade into the nightly shadow. The world has deigned to call him the night drifter of the drunken palm. Holy fuck, that's a lot of coins. Trying to build my sanity? Oh, I will. It wasn't as awesome as Barber, but it was still very cool. Beat the shit out of you. A little. Oh fuck, what's the EX condition for this stage? Pew! Ten turns? Ew, man! Why are we S3ing on the first turn, man? Who did this? Why is Hong Lu dead? Wait, do I lose? Okay.
하지만 마음이 꺾이지 않으면 이 위기도 극복할 수 있을 것일세. 해보지 않으면 모르는 것 아닌가.
육청.
Why is he attacking so much, man? Where's the clashes? Okay, we can do a little more fucking damage than like 60.
기회를 잡았네. 이천이는 저자를 꺾어 넘긴다면 전체 사기가 떨어질 것이 뻔하네. 공격하세! 야!
Why is there so much fucking bleed? Why are we doing this? Money mouth? No, not yet. Tell me that. Why the fuck are we attacking this random bozo? Can we just stagger this guy already? I'm doing this to myself? Nuh-uh. This is entirely calculated. Why are we... He's at negative 24 HP! What are we doing?! What? Is bro not staggered? What is this?
잠시 경계하세.
What the fuck is this shit, bro? Okay. How much fucking damage is that? Holy fucking moly. Ha! Oh, the bottle makes him stronger? Oh, he's at max stack right now. Oops. I mean, Otis can take it. Fuck it, I'll flip a coin. That's what this game's all about. What the fuck? Oh, oops. The reason BL Don was losing the Clash is because I'm using BL Otis. Crazy. Why is he healing? Can he don't? Oh, Money Mouth. Wait, hold on.
마음이 꺾이지 않아.
Why do you have one poise count?
할수 있을 것일세. 해보지 않으면 모르는 것 아닌가.
Okay, whatever, man. You know what? Fine, why not? Oh fuck, is he gonna get... How does this work? Fuck it, whatever. That was so sad. No!
언젠가는 이렇게 벨. 알았지.
그렇지 않은가?
먼저 빠진다.
Wait, I win? Wait, can I kill him? Or is that like just the entire fight?
이제 네 놈만 남았다.
Oh, you're next and the last one.
주인도 지키지 못한 죄지.
How strangely confident you are for someone who has failed to protect her master. He doesn't know that the sinners can come back from death. Well, now that I've claimed young Master Bayu's life, I should be free to clock out. There's no coming back from a crushed brain. Real shame, had he studied from under my tutelage, he could have almost matched me in my skill. And the intruder disappeared from the room without another word. And after a brief break, I revived the dead sinners. Just who could have possibly sent him? Could be that Jia Chu bloke from earlier. You saw the way he was glaring at the rich boy.
아까 홍무 씨를 보고 눈빛이
He wasn't the only one glaring daggers at Honk Lu, you know. Heh.
야, 괜찮냐? 혹시 정신...
Oi, you alright? If your brain's feeling funny, ask him to turn the clock again.
아니요.
No, it's just that this feels new to me.
원래는 여기서
Whenever I was attacked in here, this building felt so infinitely vast. But now that I'm here with you, all of you, it feels so crowded and alive.
그게 무슨 일이야?
And that's funny how? Well, I imagine he's saying he's happy we've got his back, to paraphrase. So like, is Hong Lu guaranteed to die in that fight? Or is it just like a coincidence that my Hong Lu fucking perished?
환승은 완벽히 우리에게 있었다. 정착지를 찾을 때까지 이 기세를 잃지 않기를.
That cutscene is supposed to happen at the end.
도련님,
Young master, I've brewed us some
차를 타렸는데
new air tea.
괜찮습니까?
Will you imbibe some before departing?
안
No way,
마시면
Honkley. Remember how that envelope we received yesterday was torn open? Refuse it.
저는 괜찮아요.
I'm okay. I love some tea, Jiren. Thank you.
네, 도련님.
Yes, young master. Night Drifter, like Hyper Light Drifter? It's just normally what kills Hong Lu is that final attack. Hong Lu sips Jiren's tea.
그러다가 혹시나
Hey, that
사람이
tea could have been poisoned. I know we have Dante here, but you're being too reckless. I wasn't being reckless on account of having Dante around. If I was, and if it really had been poisoned, I'd be needlessly hurting Dante in the process. Even if she's become a lot less friendly, Jiren's still Jiren. So I thought it would be okay. That's when I realized that Jiren's odd change of character was reminiscent of those we had seen earlier in the backstreets of District 8. Jiren went through a lot of revivals, didn't she? Yes, she's my closest maidservant, so she was on the most expensive version of life insurance. So when you say Jiren's still Jiren, you mean her memories are still intact? Yep, life insurance doesn't actually decay your memory, but still you'll slowly erode away. Like a stone weathering merciless gusts and rainstorms, the memory shrinks and shrinks, slowly losing its definition, until the form itself is lost.
한때 그러한 모양의 바위가 있었구나. 나는 느낌만 들 뿐인 거예요.
It only leaves the faint sensation that the stone was once there until it was no more.
하지만 전
But I hope that faint sensation remains a warm remembrance to Jiren at least. Jiren quietly cleared away the tea set. He could not tell if she had heard Honk Lu or if she cared at all if she did. Regardless, we left her to her job and made our way to the palanquin that was waiting to take us to the round 2 venue.
사활을 건 전쟁을 앞두고
When marching out to meet your foes in a deadly war. Normally, most sinners would have laughed Otis off for being overdramatic, but today they were all listening intently to her every word. We've already had several close run-ins with the candidates and their factions, and even the formidable Haisho pack. Those experiences were more than enough to convince us that this was the time to take her seriously.
적의 정보에 대해
We must first learn as much as possible about our primary foe,
알아내게 제일 위협이
the one that poses us the greatest threat, if you will. And that is Jia Chu.
그자에 대해
So let's list everything we've learned about that individual so far.
사람의 목을 들고 아무렇지 않게 경고한다거나
Well, we all know he has no problems with bloodying his own hands. Remember how he grabbed those decapitated heads?
저희와 시춘 씨
And we know that he tried to ensure that both our team and Zichun's wouldn't participate in the family hierarchy war. We are also aware that he is flanked by Zilu, a mighty Haisho, and Zigong, the strategist. And it seemed like he was the one who sent the assassin from last night too, right?
네, 여러모로 서로 견제.
Yeah, we know that he's definitely wary of us, so we should also stay on guard.
아시다시피 이곳
As we all know by now, Daguan Yuan is led by 4 ancient and great houses, the Jia, the Shi, the Jue, and the Wang. Ever since the time before my own birth, this place was a den of political intrigue, a jungle where a single misstep could spell your death. Today, the Jia family holds the most power and influence among the 4, which means that I was at the top of the world, afforded a life of luxuries and leisure, the kind of envious life that everyone looks up to and aspires to attain. But Big Brother Chu, he was beneath even the rock bottom of the same world.
무언가의 비유요?
Rock bottom? A metaphor for aught, perhaps?
이유가 아니라면
If it isn't, then I presume he's implying that someone pushed Jia Chu to the depths. Yep, Many hands pushed him toward the cliff until there was no more room for him to back up to, until his only remaining choice was to plummet. Brother Chu is the last surviving descendant of the annihilated Kong family. Yet his surname was Jia, was it not? His mother was from the Kong family. Ah, how? My hand was probably one of the many that pushed him off the cliff. I don't think you're the kind of person to do something like that, Honk Lu. Hoo-hoo, no need to make excuses for me. Envy and jealousy came about from my grandmother and elders' favoritism. And where there is a zenith, there also exists a nadir. Hiding won't let me get away from it, so I'm going to accept it. Honk Lu remained placid throughout that entire reveal, as though he was making some innocent commentary about the weather and the clouds going by. In fact, watch out for the ones working with the thumb too. It was Ryoshu who appeared more agitated than he was. The thumb? Oh, that walking brick shit house from earlier? Li Heng. You're weirdly worried, Ryoshu, don't you usually just... It's because he's powerful. Silence descended in the palanquin. Has Ryoshu ever called anyone straight up powerful before? No one replied. That's a crazy fucking... Oh, this is... It's like that one scene from Lobotomy Corporation. Truly an absolute Texan unit. We have arrived at the venue for the second round of the evaluation. Whoa. We found ourselves at some kind of deep subterranean area with multiple lifts installed inside it. Some contestants were already rising on those lifts, but most of them had elected to remain down here to quietly and furtively discuss their strategies. As for us, we were slowly getting used to our presence, drawing the attention of every single person in the room the moment we entered. Contestants must now each board their lifts and ascend. Well, then, should we get going too? I feel like we're drawing too much attention, so let's... But we were stopped by a voice calling us. Big brother Bayu. Ah, Dayu. Have you been well? But now she looked on at him, without a discernible emotion, a spear in the very same hand. Dayu, I didn't think you'd be participating in the family hierarch war. Have you forgotten that my family cannot exist unless we are in service of greater houses? I am but a blade serving the clan from the Jue family. I see, for big sister Baochai's family. Yes, I will be fighting in the service of others to the last of my days. Dayu. It was not a threat, but her gesture carried such implicit resoluteness that it brought Honk Lu to a stop. You're leaving Dagwon-yon? So you leave me now, still refusing to illuminate me the truths about that day. Why? Why won't you stop smiling like that? Then I hope you'll never come back here again. We shared an intimate bond once, yet all is for naught. Now I am unbound by the heavens, unbound by the dirt. Still lies this heart of mine now, with emptiness wrought. A blossom may be lovely now, but its wilting sharpens the blade of woe, the blades of hurt. Our meeting never should have come to pass. You always say things that are so difficult and saddening to hear. My own funeral was held long ago, and now having met you for the final time, when we meet our ends here, may we each become a lone thread of formless smoke, to be scattered to the winds. I think that said formless. Yeah, formless. Oops. Looks like I forgot to introduce her to everyone. She's someone with whom I had a brief connection in my childhood, though I guess our reunion was made under pretty unfavorable circumstances. And she has come here in service of another candidate. Yi Song trailed off without vocalizing that sentiment inside. Connections are such a fickle thing. Such fickle things, after all. Oglu muttered with a faint hint of loneliness as we entered the grand lift enclosed by 4 pillars. The lift rises ploddingly. When I looked down, I could see the other candidates still waiting for their lifts, looking up at us. Candidates whose fates may or may not intermingle with our own in this battle. The fuck? Jiabayu! You will never leave this place alive! No matter what it takes, we will cut off your head, no matter what it takes! Someone screams bitterly from beneath us, but the lift does not stop. Young Honk Lu, are we to be battle villains henceforth in this quest? But to them we are villains. Then, are they to be evil in our eyes? Hehe, it's a distinction without a difference. Well, whichever the case, I'm pretty sure that trying to draw a clear line between enemies and allies won't mean much. Wait, this looks like the chair from LobCorp, right? Am I crazy? Like Bina drinking outside LobCorp? It is? That's the spot? Wait, why are you both saying :3? What? I thought this was in the outskirts. Oh, I guess this is just like a replica. What the fuck? Underneath the blue sky. I thought she was wiping out... She was wiping out H Corp? I thought that was L Corp. So... Damn, okay. Underneath the blue sky, there were 2 metal gates leading into a massive looming structure. Red lights flickered ominously around the building. Looks like they decorated this huge space to look like the outside. Can't even fathom how much money they must have poured into this project. Family Hierarch Evaluations, Round 2. A disembodied voice echoed from the speakers with a buzz. Begins now. The door to the lift that carried us up here closed shut. Oh, I finally recognize where we are. You've been here before? This place is the site of the former H Corp that was once headed by the Kong family. Oh, shit. Still bleeds from the wounds made then. I wonder if we will be spilling fresh blood over them today. We are surrounded by the loud and crowded bustle of the teeming audience. Is Honk Lu smiling still as he always has since our first meeting? I turn around to face him, only to see a much younger Honk Lu. The deep sorrow in the child's eyes was about to overflow, as if he were ready to burst into tears. Younger? Younger? I did not pronounce younger like younger, did I? I did? What the fuck? Insane. Nuh-uh. Okay, wait, hold on. Whoops, I don't know how long I was muted for, but yeah, I guess it is H Corp. That's crazy. Do I want to do polls for... Gregor and Rhodia? I feel like I kinda don't. Rhodia's good, I'll do some polls.
이 시간이야말로 초롱이 빛나기에 제일 탁월한 시간 아니겠나?
This is not a good start. There we go. There's the money in my mouth. What?! I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. Why does he look like that? Fuck it, I'll do another one. There we fucking go. It's an ego. Cringe. Oh wait, never mind. This is based.
기억하나요? 저는 지금이군요.
I don't think I've done close to 200, right? Going to hard pity on a non, like, Walpurga spanner hurts me. I have some paid lunacy. Or, I mean, free. Whoops. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa! Squidward on a chair. Do not fucking gamble. Holy shit, this is depressing. This shit is so ass. Bruh. Oh wait, never mind. Gambling always works out. We're so back. Is that an ego? Bro, what is this?
지켜보고 있었지.
There we go. Are you fucking kidding me? What is this, man? Go away, Ryoshu! There we go. This better not be...
도망쳐봤자 헛수고다. 퍼져나간 탄환이 어디에서든 네 머리통을 화려하게 터뜨릴 테니.
Bruh. This is all my lunacy, man! Bro!
시키는 임무도 다 했어. 충의를 다했는데 이 시간이야말로 초롱이 빛나기에 제일 탁월한 시간 아니겠나? 이 시간이야말로 초롱이 빛나기.
How good is this even? What does this replace? Oh, that replaces Fluid Sac? You're fucking crazy. Oh shit, I finally have this though. This is what? 22 versus... I'm assuming this is gonna clash better after I thread spin it. No, it's the same. If only the game would do this with general extraction IDs that you're missing. That's 30 versus what? You don't roll very high, do you? No, not even close. Where do I have Red Eye's Penitence put? There we go. How much thread? I think I have like 3,000. Where do you see your thread? Do I have any thread? Is this not where you view your thread? Oh, it's right there. 2,000. If you round up, it's 3,000. It's in basic. It is. What do I do with these? Oh, wait. Oh, damn. Wait, what? Oh, they're 3-star guarantee tickets. I see. Molrat is insane! I need to get fucking this Otis. Because I am, literally one achievement away. And it's this shit. Spend all of them 3-star guarantee, Withering Heights. Why would I? But like, well, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Bad Wi-Fi debuff. You can't get wallop IDs? I thought you could though. And like the point is like, the longer I hold on to this, the more value it gets. Because the more power creep there is, the higher chance of getting a better ID. Just gamble some more, that's insane. Anything else? I'll fucking do the polls, fuck it. Gamble for N Corp is crazy when there aren't even any fucking other N Corp things in the game. Bro, they're all fucking dupes, man! Can I at least get some Otis dupes, please? That's not Otis! Bogo's binted. Fuck my life. Okay, well, that's enough of stream. I don't know what I'm gonna do next Saturday. Oh wait, it's a